All right, team. So we are up this morning. Hope you guys are doing well today. It's a beautiful day. Market is kind of green, slightly green. It's not really favoring one direction or not. We have the SPY move up. You can see it's at 375 right now, which is still pretty solid. Friday, the market ripped up pretty big. What's up, Tony, Arthur, CT, Dirty, Robert, DS? Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Hope you guys are well today. Will the market keep crashing, or will it hold the gains that it's put in over the last few days? Let me know what you guys think will happen here. Let's get some music rolling. We have some earnings this week. Nothing really big this morning per se, but we do have some stuff here. Tomorrow is when the big earnings start. But today we have nothing really major. We've got PHG, which is Royal Phillips, Dorman Products, Bank of Hawaii, Bank of Marin, Dynex Community Bank, HBT, and Kirby Corporation. Those are the only real earnings this morning. Nothing else that were really big that are out that is really worth covering. Later on this week is when the big stuff really happens. Today, this evening, I mean, we got like Logitech in the evening, RRC in the evening, but nothing really big, to be honest. Um, in terms of economic activity, we don't really have anything super major here as well. We got Today, we got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. So, I mean, maybe that'll be worthwhile. Let me see if that even ranks here. Oh, it does. All right, so yeah, we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping today. That might be worthwhile to pay attention to. Let me see if we can figure out more data on that. There we go. All right, there we go. Got everything set up. What's up, team? Hey, what's up, Beach? Do you think the index will keep rallying? I hope not. I hope it falls. Tesla break it down, looking weak here. Yeah, what's up, Dre? Just Joe, space, pawn. What's up, man? Ready to follow the trend, waiting. Yeah, market's okay. Hey, thank you, Arthur. The market will, but AMC and Ape will see a nice pop, in my opinion. We'll see, man. We're going back to drinking coffee today. Mm. I need one of those real lighters, bro. Well, I guess I suck at that. I can't do that. All right, guys. So, Apple and Tesla, yeah, for sure. Are you guys ready to short? Not really. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll short the open if we get it, if it looks good enough. Um, yeah. Let me check the news going on. As much as I like Matthew McConaughey, I don't know if I want him as president, bro. You know. How about those Astros? Is all I'm gonna say here. You know. How about the Astros, bro? I truly think the Astros will win the World Series. Like the Astros have got to win the World Series, right? I mean, they're playing the Phillies. I mean, Bryce Harper and the Phillies, they're good and all, but like, are they as good as the Astros? Not even close, man. You know, like really, I don't even think they were the best team in baseball. I thought the Dodgers, I thought the Yankees, um, I thought the Dodgers and the Yankees were the two best teams outside of the Astros in baseball, and we just destroyed the Yankees. You know, sent Aaron Judge home, and so I think we're gonna win the World Series, and I might go. I might go. I looked up tickets last night. You know, to bring all four of my like to bring the whole family, it's going to be about 2 to 3 thousand, which I'm not saying isn't a lot, but like to go to the Astros World Series, you know, at least game one or two. Of course, if we go to where we could win a game four or something like that, those are going to be thousands. The last game is going to be thousands, but I'd still like to go. Yeah. Yeah, people are like you see some people that are just really stuck up on Astros cheating, man. It's like they're just bitter their team lost that year. You know, like baseball, it romanticizes cheating. And so it's like unless if their team did it, it would be like, oh, it's okay, but because another team did it 5 years ago, now they're all mad about it. Like they're just mad. They're just mad because their team's not doing well and the Astros are. Uh, All right, guys. But yeah, the spy is green today. I mean, that's a pretty nice sign. I want to see the spy green today. That's good. Um, So have y'all seen the Cybertruck? Dude, I got a prediction. The Cybertruck is gonna break the sales record of any motor vehicle. People can say whatever they want about it. They could say it's ugly. They could say they don't like it, but I think it's different enough looking vehicle that people want to be seen. I think a basic Tesla already is not a status symbol anymore. I think a normal Tesla is not a status symbol anymore. You know. Oh man, check out Mullen. I forgot on Nintendo. Right, 100% dirty. That's exactly right. Unique looking vehicles always crush. If people hate a guarantee movie, exactly, bro. People are gonna buy it no matter what. People just want to be seen, you know. And so if people give them a way to be seen, like they're gonna buy it. Like people just want to be seen. That's all it is. Like they just want to be seen, bro. Like people want to distinguish themselves. It's biological at this point in time for human beings. Like it's biological. With so many of us on this planet, billions and billions of people on this planet. Like in terms of like everything, in terms of picking up picking up mates on this planet, right? It's biological, like it's instinctual. It's like, what do we want to do? We want to separate ourselves from everybody else, like instinctually. And so, how do we do that in this modern day and age? We buy a Cybertruck, you know, and we let people see us drive around in it. It's instinctual. It really is. And so, I I predict that it's gonna break sales records when it actually goes live. You know, and maybe buying Tesla front loading into that is, an idea that I might consider. I'm not going to buy a huge position of Tesla, but maybe buying like 10 shares of Tesla or something and just kind of front loading into that is a good idea, you know. And SPY moving up. Tesla currently at 207s roughly right now. Apple still red on the day. It happens to everybody, John. It just depends on like. Oh wait, is the music playing? Can y'all hear the music? Yeah, I agree as well. Would I mean? I think that when you look at it objectively, cannabis should be legal. Like relative to other legal things, like there needs to be an even standard of legalization here. You know, because whenever you're picking and choosing like substances that have about an even keel of toxicity and inebriation causing effects, whenever that line is even, that's what we want. Right now the line goes like this, where it's like alcohol at gas stations and all these things that are terrible for us, both in terms of toxicity level and inebriation amount, as well as the effects of the human body long term. Those things are sold at gas stations. Meanwhile, cannabis is demonized. It's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous. We have cannabinoid receptors in our brain, which means that our ancient ancestors consumed it to a certain extent because we wouldn't have those receptors in our brain if they didn't. And so, in that regard, the fact that something like that is criminalized, they've also found that it reduces inflammation, which means that our ancient ancestors consumed it because anything that our ancient ancestors had access to and that's not foreign to our bodies to a certain extent can reduce inflammation, I mean, which if you really want to think about it is inflammation is the root cause of all major problems for humans in terms of health. Mostly acne is caused by inflammation, cancer is caused by inflammation. I can go on and on about all these modern problems that are caused by cancer in terms of health, or that are caused by inflammation in terms of health. And cannabis and other substances from the cannabis plant uh, have been shown to reduce inflammation. And so the fact that something like that is criminalized and legal shows that our healthcare system is a little loopy sometimes. Uh, but I digress. SPY up to 375.50s. We have Tesla at 207s here. And I'm not against doing it. I think you should be able to do whatever you want to do as long as it's not hurting anybody else. I truly think you should just be able to do whatever you want to do. To a certain extent. I mean, look, we can't get too crazy with it, but to a certain extent, I think you should just be able to do whatever you want to do. Uh, yeah, for sure. If it helps with inflation, I mean, you see your boy JP pushing that now. He'd be on a Rick Ross song in like 6 months. But yeah, Apple is up to 147s. Let's see, it's right around that previous closing price. We'll see if it actually holds that level. Yeah, but the problem with cannabis is that it doesn't really cause physical dependence, you know. Not certainly not to the degree alcohol does, right? So like, you know, humans can consume cannabis daily and then stop and not really have any physical withdrawal symptoms from that. That's the very unique thing about it that makes it really interesting in terms of like studying it, is that it doesn't cause those physical dependent symptoms. You drink alcohol every day for a year and then you try to stop cold turkey, you're about to get sick. You know, cannabis just isn't like that. You might have some small, like, inconvenient symptoms, like you might be a little bit moodier, but nothing to the degree of like alcohol or other legal substances. So, you know, Yeah, and I don't really use cannabis. Like I said, I'm married with kids. Risk reward's just not that good. And of course, when I was younger, we were all young at one point in time. But I was one of those people that just reacted like I got really, really paranoid, man. Like I can, even if it was legal, I don't think I could really do it like that. It was just never really. All right, guys. So we're looking at a few other things here. Anything else moving today that I missed? Um, I see Ape is up. Is AMC doing well today also? I mean, here's AMC, Ape, 280s. Yeah, so Hong Kong stocks have fallen after appointment of fan economic fears, or after one of their appointments are causing rougher economic fears. The yuan weakens, so that's not good. Alibaba's probably struggling from this news, correct? Yeah, Alibaba down big. I've never liked Alibaba as a company in terms of buying this up. I've never trusted buying it up. If anybody's been watching, oh wait, y'all can't hear the music, man. My bad. I'm over here rocking out by myself. My apologies here, team. Hold on. Let me start the music over. All right, there you go. There you go. You should be able to be. Yeah, Alibaba down big. Um, I gotta go do a test today at noon, and I gotta stop drinking caffeine 4 hours before. So I just drink as much coffee as I can now, and then stop by like 9 o'clock market time is when I'm gonna have to stop. How about those fights this weekend though? Makachev did that. All right, guys. So yeah, Spy is down here. I might buy a Spy div if we get one or not. It depends on if we get one or not. I'll just kind of wait for that. Yeah, they're doing pretty rough right now. Can y'all hear the music now? Let me know if you should be able to. Yeah, we have some big earnings this week, guys. Some big earnings this week. Bro, they got those people going around throwing stuff on a bunch of famous pictures. They threw mashed potatoes on $110 million Monet. And while I can respect the publicity stunt and all, um, I guess it's kind of working. It's bringing attention, you know. All right, guys. All right, team. Spy at 375.17s. Baba at 63.60s here. We got Tesla at 206.80s. We're at 375 right now for the SPY. I might buy this dip if I could. I mean, we still got about 18 minutes before I could actually trade on Thinkorswim. But I would buy this dip. The fact that people are offended by painting destroyed versus not offended, but nature is destroyed. Yeah, 100% Lewis. I'm all for their message, bro. They can do their thing. I'm not mad at them. The painting was fine. Yeah, 100%. I understand what they were doing, Lewis. I get it. I truly do understand. I'm not knocking them for it. Like I said, I can kind of respect the publicity stunt. Like, let them do their thing. You know, they're not actually hurting the painting. If they were hurting the painting, I'd be more highly critical. But they're just trying to get their message heard. And, you know, while some people might agree or disagree with their message, like, it's all good. I can respect the hustle, so to speak. So it's all good. Let them do whatever. So Ethereum Classic's Twitter account with 600,000 followers is now suspended. So Yuga Labs co-founder Garga.eth, which is Greg Solano, revealed that the Other Side Metaverse beta is going to go live in 2023. State regulators in Texas, New Jersey, Kentucky, and Alabama ordered one of the NFT things to shut down its operations due to offered casino profits. Robinhood hires sanctions investigators ahead of a launch of self-hosted crypto wallet. All right, guys. Tesla's still breaking down. Baba's looking pretty weak, too. Chinese stocks are on turmoil today. Yeah, those paintings aren't going to be able to get hurt, really. None of them are. Like, all those paintings there, you know, are not going to get hurt, really, with any of that, you know. How about Game of Thrones, bro? I was a little disappointed by the ending just because we got to wait 2 years for another one. I thought, like, more stuff should have gone down, man. Like, I think they're dragging this out too long, you know. And while I understand, I don't like waiting 2 years for freaking a season of Game of Thrones. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Baba at 63.30. Are y'all buying the Baba dip? Let me do a poll here today, guys. We haven't done a poll yet today. Remember, we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity. Let me do a poll here today, guys. We do have a big. The poll is going to say with big earnings this week. Well, the market in green or red by Friday. The market in green or red. Green, red, neutral. Vote on the poll, guys. There's the poll here. We're also going to do our Twitter. Yeah, y'all be safe. Dollar index bullets. Look at the dollar. Here's Baba breaking down here. Here's the dollar. So the dollar is still under 113s, which is a very favorable sign here. You know, here's the dollar Friday. Friday, the dollar ran all the way up to 114, basically, and then just slammed down all the way back down under 112s here, which is great. We're currently at about 112.40s. We ripped over that. So we are moving up slightly so far, but the SPY is not really following it dramatically here, or like a drastic follow-up here. The SPY is up. The dollar is up. If we look at a 1-minute chart on both of these here, I wouldn't say there's much of a relationship. I mean, we do have this big drop, and we got a big drop here, so I wouldn't say they're following each other to a T. Let me see. Big move up. So they are following each other some, though. So here's a dip. This level here is essentially the same level as this, just on the reverse, since, you know, markets tend to do the opposite of what the dollar does, at least to a certain extent, about 60 to 70% correlation. But yeah, this is the same thing as this. So big drop, bounce, big drop, or big drop, small little bounce, big move up. And then this is the opposite. It would be a big move up, small little drop, another larger move up, and then a pullback. So virtually doing the same thing. Hey, what's up, Bjorn? Price target for Tesla by January. Hey, what's up, Johnny Trades? Do not buy the Baba dip. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I just don't trust it. Crypto is becoming the new fiat currency, just as highly or more regulated with no regard for personal privacy, including what, when, who. Not anywhere close. Okay, all good, JD. Yeah, I won't spoil it, bro. But I mean, yeah, I won't say anything, I guess. Yeah, I'll check it out. Nah, it didn't have really a bad ending, sick. The show was great. I loved House of Dragon, bro. I loved House of the Dragon. I thought they did a great job of getting people attached to it. I thought they did a great job of I thought the show was great. I thought the actors were solid. I thought the show was solid. My only problem with it is that they're making us wait 2 years in between episodes, right? Which means that like this whole season and whole series is going to take 10 years. I think that's a little bit too long. I want the Jon Snow I like prequels and all, but I'd like to see an actual sequel of Game of Thrones. I want to see what happened with Jon Snow and all that stuff, you know. How about my LSU Tigers, bro? Beating the undefeated Ole Miss. There's a reason Ole Miss is our rivals, and we beat them. You love to see it. You just love to see it, you know. If there's 2 states that we're going to beat teams in, it's either Alabama or Mississippi. If we could beat those 2 states, I'm happy. Also, Tom Brady lost to the Panthers, I believe, right? Hey, what's up, Beach? Hey, good morning, man. Red or Green Day, guys? Let's see. Voting. Looking at this poll here, 48% think green, 35% think red, 16% think neutral. Vote on the poll, guys. Let us know what you guys think today. Get a little bit of a bounce back in markets here. All right, guys, so we're getting a rebound. SPY up to 375.50s here. Dollar index is starting to come back. So we got Tesla in the middle right here at about 207. Trying to bounce back some as well here. We'll see if it actually does or not. UPS earnings is going to be huge for the market tomorrow. Predictions. I don't know if UPS earnings are going to be the biggest ones tomorrow. I think in terms of earnings releases, we got a lot bigger stuff happening tomorrow. No offense to UPS. UPS is big and all, but bro, this is the big earnings tomorrow, right? Outside of UPS, we got Coca-Cola, General Motors, General Electric, JetBlue, 3M, Valero, Raytheon. There's a bunch of other companies as well. Biogen, Sherwin-Williams, TransUnion. We've got just a lot of stuff dropping tomorrow, right? But that's not even the biggest ones tomorrow. Tomorrow evening specifically, we've got Google and Microsoft and Visa. Google, Microsoft, Visa, Spotify, Chipotle, Texas Instruments. Those are going to be dropping tomorrow. We are going to be streaming the Google earnings tomorrow live right here. So we are going to stream the entire earnings call, the entire stock market reaction to their earnings live right here, as we always do here. So y'all be ready. We will be streaming. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for last week. We hit 39,000 subscribers. The goal this week is to hit 90K. We hit 89K last week. We appreciate you all. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be big. I think UPS will be interesting. Looking at the expectational numbers for UPS, it looks like we are expecting, let's see. We are expecting $284 per share in profit, $24.42 billion in sales revenue. That's what we're expecting here. So we'll see if we get that or not. But I'm interested to see what happens for sure. Well, most of the big ones are in the evening, so we're going to be covering them live here. If you sign up to our mailing list, we do have a mailing list where you can, get every major earnings report. We send out an email for it, and so you guys can kind of catch the earnings. Completely free to sign up. There's the link right there. It's beginnertrading.net/membership. Check it out. We do got to do some updates on our site, but you can still sign up. We got hundreds of people on our newsletter that we send out for these big earnings reports and stuff like that, as well as we also send them out for like CPI, PPI, all that good stuff. So yeah, y'all join it. But yeah, how about those Astros? I know somebody said no spoilers, but like, bro, I'm going to talk about the Astros game. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, bro, I think the Astros are going to win the World Series, dude. I truly think the Astros are going to win the World Series. I don't think, like, the Phillies are good and all. Bryce Harper, they're good. I'm not knocking them. The Phillies had some really smart trades ahead of the trade deadline. Some really smart trades, right, for the Phillies. But, I think when you compare the Phillies and the Astros, it's not even a thing. I think we're going to win the World Series. We completely just smoke the Yankees. You know what I mean? We also had Chinese GDP come out at 3.9% over 3.3% forecast. So inflationary problems in China are higher than initially anticipated. That's right. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil Game of Thrones whatsoever. Of course I can't. I'm just all I will say is that I watched it. I'm bummed out that I'm not going to be able to watch it for another 2 years, bro. 2 years, dude. Like, I hope they can, like, I don't like this new thing where with big shows like this, where with Stranger Things and with Game of Thrones, that they're making us wait 2 years in between seasons. That's way too long, man. Like, that's way too long. Like, honestly, I kind of hope that the interest dwindles down a little bit so that they stop doing that and they start putting it out faster. Because 2 years is a long time, bro. Like, who knows what I'm going to be doing in 2 years? I might not even be into Game of Thrones anymore. That's just too long. All right, guys, SPY moving up here. Dollar index is kind of moving up with it. Tesla at 207s here. 207s. Honestly, good for the Bucks, man. I want to see the Bucks lose. Honestly, the refs have given Tom Brady so many suspect calls over the past month that it's just kind of ridiculous. Everybody's mad. Nobody wants to see the Bucks win. I'm good they lose. Good that they're not going to make it to a Super Bowl. Good for them. Like, they don't deserve it. Okay? They're not that good. They're getting gifted calls. by the refs. It's just ridiculous, man. Honestly, yesterday the Blues in baseball got some wrong calls as well. And so, I mean, hey, good for them. Uh, $1 million an episode takes a bit to put together. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry. I'm not going to say anything about it. All I'm saying is I'm bummed out that I got to wait 2 years. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think they could get it done in a year. I think they can get it done in a year. All right, guys. SPY up there. Dollar index is up there. Tesla at 206. What else we got moving today, guys? Anything else that's worthwhile to pay attention to right now? It's about 7 o'clock. I disagree, DS. I didn't like the Lord of the Rings story at all, bro. I thought Game of Thrones was a much better story. I was originally a Lord of the Rings, not really a fanboy. I wasn't at that level, but I'll tell you this. I went and saw all the old Lord of the Ring movies in theaters when they came out. I read the books as well, right? So I love Lord of the Rings stuff, right? I was a huge nerd. Love Lord of the Rings stuff as a kid. All right. But I'm just not into this latest story. I'm just not into the Ring of Power. I just don't think it's that good. I think it's kind of boring, to be honest. Like I've watched it. I haven't seen the last 2 episodes for the season finale. So, but like I thought it was boring. Like I truly thought it was boring. I don't know if I'm watching Game of Thrones so much where I just need to see more of drama, like in Game of Thrones. But I truly thought the Lord of the Rings show was kind of boring. It just didn't pique my interest, and I liked it. I liked some episodes, but it wasn't something like I noticed. Like I watched the first 8 episodes of the season, but I noticed it just wasn't something where I would get excited before it. And so it's like I don't know. Nothing against it. I just thought, and of course, I thought that some of the special effects looked a little bit worse in Lord of the Rings, um, and I just didn't. I wasn't into it as much. I'm just not into it as much. What I really wish they would have done is I wish they would have gotten some of the rights to the movie content, like the movie pictures, like the movie stuff, like, and they did some flashbacks. I think that would bring more people in, right? But the fact that they weren't able to get those rights, that kind of ruined it, I think. They got to connect it to the movie or it's not going to be, as good, in my opinion. Anyway, SPY is up to 376. Dollar index is still consolidating here. Tesla down big. We got Apple up here. We bought Snapchat last week. We're still kind of just sitting in Snapchat, and it's all good. We're down, a couple $100 there. Nothing really major. ExxonMobil, so oil and gas, starting to rebound a little bit. You can see the dollar index on the left side here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. But we got the Apple here. We got Tesla down here. We got the Q. Again, while I'm gone, I'll be gone for like 2 minutes. While I'm gone, let us know how many basis points you think we'll raise in December. All right, guys, I'm back. I could also trade again. I don't see a dip large enough for me to really want to get involved yet in the SPY. What we might do though is we might add a little bit more to our Snapchat trade. Maybe like take 15 shares here. See if we get a little bit better entry. Okay, here we go. Maybe take 250 shares here. There we go. All right, so we're really not that far away. We're less than $1 away from our price. Tesla pop it up a little bit. Look at Tesla pop. Lord of the Rings is more of an adventure of hiking movie. Okay, yeah, my bad. Not flashbacks. Flashback was not what I meant. I know it takes place thousands of years prior. But I wish they would have found some way to put the old movies back into it. I think they would. I think that would be a lot better for them. If they could find some way to attach the old movies with it, I think they would get a lot more. But y'all are right. No, I haven't, Beach. Well, no, with Game of Thrones, the last season took 2 years. Thoughts on GCT? Cheap penny stock, not really my wheelhouse, brother. No volume either. No liquidity, it looks like. So just not really my style of trade. Again, we're in Snapchat. Snapchat currently at 769. It's rebounding back. Some SPY is moving up a little bit. The dollar index is trying to break down. Here's Tesla. Tesla is back up to 207.50s. We'll see if that actually holds. All right, guys, dollar index is popping up here. Look at the dollar index move up right now. So dollar index just went all the way up to 112.40s here. Let's see if we continue here. And again, we might buy the dip in the SPY if we get one here. We'll start to load into a SPY position. I think one of the mistakes that I've been making here when I buy the SPY is that I'm getting in a little bit too early and I'm taking too large of size here. And so I'm going to start to take some size, but we're not going to really add a lot to this unless we can, we'll add another 15 shares. We're not really going to add 25, 30 shares to this. Unless we can get a larger dip, maybe down to there. We get a dip down to like 375. Maybe we'll take that dip instead. All right, ExxonMobil. So gas started to push back up. ExxonMobil back up to 105.80s here. So gas started to head back up. Here's Exxon up to 105.80s here. Again, Snapchat's been rebounding over the last couple minutes as well. Dollar index is slowly fighting its way up, but we would really like to see the dollar index hold over here, or hold under, I mean, is under 112.50 and 13. Those are psychological levels that the dollar has been moving around here. We got all these levels drawn, but we can kind of remove this and just look specifically at 113 and 112.50 as levels here. Here's 112.50, here's 113, right? These are two levels that we want to see the market we want to see the dollar index hold underneath. We do not want to see the dollar index break that, unfortunately. We certainly don't want to see that. And hopefully we get something good. But yeah, we definitely don't want to see the dollar index fall underneath that. But it's a big week for earnings, man. It really is. It's a big week for earnings. A lot of stuff to cover today. My daughter has the flu, and so I'm just hoping I don't get the flu. I'm going to think positive. I'm not going to get the flu. Luckily, my mother-in-law has been kind of watching our daughter for us since, so we can keep them separated since I've been having this heart stuff going on. But yeah. So we got Snowden tweeting here. All right, guys. So we do get a little bit of a drop. This is what I'll start to add a little bit more here to my position here. I don't mind taking 20. We got 375 underneath this here that we can watch. Dollar index is moving up, but we got 375 there. We got this low here that we can pay attention to. I will start to scale in. I will take 25 shares. No, 25 shares. Ultimately, we're just looking for a rebound here. We'll see if we actually get it or not. We're also going to be paying attention to some of the echo data that we got coming out today. Specifically, let me look at one of these rooms. All right, so we did have earlier this morning, we did have Mexican inflation levels. So Mexican first half core inflation came in at 0.42% versus 0.35% expected. Let me look at this a little bit deeper here. So yeah, we did have Mexican. Here, hold on. Yeah, so we did have Mexican half-month CPI drop. Again, half-month CPI for October came in at 0.42, higher than the 0.35% expectations. First half-month CPI for October, so core CPI came in higher than expected. Regular CPI actually came in lower than expected for Mexico. And that might be interpreted as a positive sign. But yeah, so that's good. Now, again, core inflation, so inflation excluding fuel and energy, or food and energy, is higher. But basic inflation is lower. So again, basic inflation, you can see here, came in at 0.44 versus 0.53 expectational numbers here. So check it out. So that's good. I mean, that's kind of good, man. Here, look, you see these numbers right here. Again, we came in a little bit lower than expected for regular inflation, and so that's good. Hopefully that continues. Hopefully that's a positive sign. The next CPI report is going to be on the 13th. The next FOMC meeting. So the next FOMC meeting, guys, is next Wednesday. So next Wednesday is the FOMC meeting, and that'll be very relevant to pay attention to. Any predictions on how many rate hikes we're going to get? Dude, are you froze? No. Y'all can hear me, right? Everything looks good to me. Might be your internet, brother. Yeah, y'all check out Beach Bum's stuff. Beach Bum's got some great content. Check out his, he just posted here. Y'all go give that man a subscribe. Here, I'll post this channel link if you haven't seen it. Open it up in a new tab, of course. But here, I'll post Beach Bum. Give him a subscribe. Help him grow. Great swing trading content, There you go. Check them out. Yeah, so we did get a rebound here in the SPY. Well, we're up a little bit. We got 25 shares. I might add a little bit more to this if we can, just because we're green in it already. So we'll take a little bit more, 30 shares. Maybe continue to add to this one as we can. 35 shares. Maybe take 40 to 50 shares so far. Yeah, I don't know. We got the next FOMC meeting. It's going to be November 2nd. We also have CPI on November 13th. Those will all be very relevant and, interesting to watch for sure. Tesla dollar index still consolidating. We got the SPY up here. We're in a small piece of the SPY here, just 35 shares. Really bad fill there, but that's okay. We wanted a little bit more here. We got 40 shares. We'll wait and see if we dip more, and then buy another dip if we can. There's 40. Try to get 50 shares real quick. All right, we're trying to add to this now. Okay, there we go. We're in 50. All right. And we'll take 25 shares off fast. Which one better? Do you got which one better, guys? One? This is one. This is the screen for one. One or two? All right, I guess two's probably better, but what do you guys think? One or two? I'm going to go with two for now because I think people probably prefer two a little bit. But let me know what you guys think. One or two? I'm waiting till November 2nd. Yeah. This is two right now. I think two's a little bit better. The charts are going to be larger. 2, 2, 1. Gotcha. 2, 2. Okay, gotcha. Well, two's winning for sure. And I figured it would. It's just more chart. You can see it better. All right, guys, we're just kind of sitting back here right now. Kind of kicking back, guys. Again, look at Tesla rebound. Dollar index is still choppy, but 2, 2, yeah. All right, we're gonna do 2. John's becoming an optometrist. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Yeah, here's the problem. So I went to the optometrist. I would say 6 months ago, I went to the eye doctor, right? So I went to the eye doctor 6 months ago. And basically he said, what I took his testing, right? I took his testing with no glasses on. And he diagnosed me. I already knew I was nearsighted, right? He said I was nearsighted, but he said that I did perfect on one of the tests, the ones where you see the little dot and you click it every time you see the little dot in your peripherals, right? And so he said I was perfect on that test, and that's incredibly rare to have as good up close vision as I do with my peripheral vision, right? And his theory was that I've got some super rare type of nearsightedness, that my eyes have essentially adjusted to being nearsighted because it's very slight. But what that means is that I have better up close reactions and vision, And so basically, I'm a superhero is basically what he said. I'm trying to be as humble as I can here. He basically said I was a superhero. I had the top 3 eyes in the world, and probably potentially the greatest eyesight of all time. Basically, that greatest nearsighted eyesight of all time is essentially what he said. So let me know. Am I a superhero, guys? Let me know in chat. We got the SPY starting to move back up. It's at 375.50s here, 375.50s. We'll see if it continues. Again, we bought this dip. We added to it on the pullback. We got 50 shares, which is not really a small position, but we're not going to risk that much in this position. You do see Tesla move back up. Again, is Tesla a dip buy? Here's why I might think it. Here's why I think it might be. Okay, and again, I'm going to preface this with I have no idea what Tesla's going to do. Maybe Tesla just straight up crashes down. I really have no idea here. But here's my logic for Tesla. Okay, here's the logic for it. Okay, so the Cybertruck is coming out sometime soon. The Cybertruck is very unique looking truck, a very unique looking truck. I think Cybertruck sales are going to break records. And I'll tell you why. Okay, Tesla already is kind of a status symbol-y buy. People buy Teslas to be seen as like a status symbol. All right, now I think that's starting to wear. I think they're becoming a little bit saturated, right? But what's a better way to show people that you've got status than buying a crazy looking Cybertruck? Anytime you pass by anybody, they're going to be like, ooh, Look at that thing. They're either going to be like, ooh, or man, that thing is ugly, is what they're going to say. Right? But it doesn't matter. It's going to make people notice you. And I think people want to be noticed. And I think the Cybertruck is designed specifically for that. It's really, really smart. I think it was a strategy that they did. People are like, oh, it's crazy. Oh, it's crazy. I think they did so intentionally because I think it's going to make people look at it. And it's going to make people want to buy it too because people are going to want to be seen. And so I think we're going to see some big sales come in for the Cybertruck when it drops. And I think because of that, Tesla's down at 200s right now. It's pretty cheap relative to where it's been the last 6 months or so. There we go. We're going to take another half off there. We got the dip and the SPY. We're taking a little bit off. But because of that, I think Tesla might be a dip buy here. I think it might be a dip buy at 200, 206s. I think Tesla is one of those stocks. Now, again, if we had to look at the opposing side of why Tesla might be risky, I can talk about that too. Tesla might be risky because, frankly, it's built up some enemies of the last 6 months. It just has. It has. It's been too outspoken politically. It's built up some enemies. And so I think in that regard, they've also ostracized some of their consumer base. Whenever you come out really outspoken on one political side, then at the very best, you're going to ostracize 40% of your viewer base and consumers. And so I think, we'll see how that affects everything, but I still think Tesla's doing well. And because of that, maybe Tesla's a good dip buy. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Is Tesla a dip buy here? Let me know. We do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping today at 8:30. We did have Mexican half-month CPI, and again, it came out better than expected for basic CPI. Core CPI came in a little bit higher than expected, came in at 0.42% versus 0.35% expectations, but regular CPI came in at 0.44%, so higher than expected there, higher than expected. Tesla moving up a little bit, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Can we talk about Mullen? We can. I don't know if you're going to like what I got to say about it. So you got X-ray vision. Yeah, definitely top 3, This is why you see scalp so well. I know. That's basically what went down. This is an old story, Dad. It's a story as old as time. Okay. John went to the eye doctor and he had great eyesight, just great eyesight, top 3 in the world, Just best reactions ever, peripheral reaction, Story as old as time. Okay. No, the market's moving up though. I'm considering taking more profit. I think I'm gonna let the SPY work here and see if we can. All right, Snapchat up to 760s. We'll see if it actually holds here. SPY moving up. It's at 375.90s. Tesla at 209s. Is Tesla a good dip buy? Yeah, here's the problem with Mullen. Okay, here's the true problem with Mullen. Okay, let's talk about it. All right, Mullen does not have the consumer base to sustain their business. They just don't have the consumer base to sustain their business. They don't have enough people wanting a Mullen vehicle. And they might have great battery technology. But again, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. If you didn't trade stocks and had no idea about the stock market, would you buy a Mullen? If you answered yes, you are lying. Okay, you would not buy a Mullen if you had never heard the stock market. The only reason people want a Mullen is because they see the stock, right? And I don't think that is very optimistic for their future in terms of. I don't think they have a chance at being a standalone automobile brand. I think best case scenario for Mullen is they get bought out for their battery technology by the big boys, and that's a great thing. Listen, if you're in Mullen, that might be a really good thing for you. I'm not sure. But I think that there's no chance that Mullen succeeds as a standalone automobile company. No chance, long term. I think it's too weak. It doesn't have enough consumers that are interested in actually buying Mullen. And with that, if we look at the actual Mullen price, and maybe I'm wrong. I could easily be wrong. It's at 43 cents a share. All right. If you look at it over the last year, it's looking pretty rough. And so again, that's the problem with Mullen. Again, I've heard it has good battery technology. Maybe it gets bought out by the big boys. That's certainly a possibility, and I think that's best case scenario. I think that's best case scenario for a lot of these EV brands outside of Tesla, because I think that again, people don't want to be Clark Griswold in National Lampoon's Vacation with their rental car. People don't want to be that. They're not going to buy an obscure car that nobody's ever heard of, And so because of that, I'm very skeptical of a lot of these EV brands because I just don't think they have the consumer base they need to sustain the business. And maybe they do. I don't know. Let me know. If you got some arguments for it, let me know. We can talk about it. 75 basis points for November is a done deal. How do you think the market's going to react, Florida? How do you think the market's going to react? Yeah. Yeah, y'all can day trade it. Do your thing. I mean, I'm talking about the company, though. Might be good, bad for day trading. I don't know. I'm not day trading this, though. But y'all do y'all's thing. I'm not mad at that. I'm just not buying this long term. Maybe it gets bought out one day, but all right. So we started to get some moves on the SPY. I think mass producing the semi trucks is the next market to really grow for Tesla, but battery tech is still limited. Yeah, for sure. I could agree. I think that's what they're shooting for. But I think the Cybertruck's going to break sales records. I see Amazon and Meta taking a hit this week. I mean, I agree with you that the Mets are junk. I'm assuming you said Meta. If Twitter has too many, yeah. Mullen is as old as Tesla. Do your research before you talk. Aldrin, you sound emotional over there, bro. Listen, I get it. You like Mullen. I understand. But if Mullen and Tesla are the same age, why does Mullen sit at 44 cents? And why does Tesla sit at $200 post split, sir? You're proving my point as you talk, brother. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but Mullen's 44 cents a share. Okay, it doesn't have the consumer base to really succeed. I get it. You might be bag holding this, and I understand that. I really do. I get it. Okay, but just don't get mad at the messenger here. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be wrong. Depends on what the Fed says on the future rate hike. 75 basis points already expected. Yeah, for sure. Do you think we're going to be baked into that already? Is the question. And again, I'm not knocking you if you're holding Mullen. Just don't get mad if I don't like it. Again, what I see here, and this is something I see very, very often, is I see people get really, really emotional about penny stocks that they're bag holding, that they're losing tons of money. And why do they get mad at me? It's because they're losing so much money on it. They desperately want to believe it's going to do well. The problem with Mullen, again, is that it just doesn't have the consumer base it needs to really succeed, in my opinion. I just don't think it's consumer based. I don't think the people that want to buy a Mullen automobile, I don't think there's enough people, And of course, they're trying to market it, and I get that. But, prior to Tesla, it's historically been incredibly difficult to build a new automobile brand. Prior to EV and prior to Tesla, it's been historically very difficult to do so. Why is that difficult? Is because, frankly, you don't have the consumer base to do it. You don't have enough people that say, hey, I want a Toyota, I want a Ford, I want a Chevy. You don't have fan bases like that. And so because of that, these up and coming EV brands, while people are interested in them, they're all too similar to each other to really, cause these big fan bases to build up. The only people that are truly fans of these companies, again, are people that have been sitting in them losing for a year now, right? So if you're sitting in Mullen and it's been a year and it's gone down from, it's gone down from 140 all the way to 37 over the last couple months. And it's gone down from 15.90 at the highs down to 21 cents at the lows recently. Best stock ever. You know what I mean? But I think you got to take a second, understand the bear argument there as well. DeLorean almost made it until he tried to sell some illegal things to get funding. He almost made it, but that's my point, is that he almost made it. He didn't quite. He had Back to the Future pumping the DeLorean hard, and he still couldn't do it. And so again, that's the problem. It's very difficult to build, and create some of these automobile brands, and compete and have actual longevity in markets. It's so difficult. And so again, I have to be skeptical of most of these. And I think that's an understandable thing. Snapchat down to 760s. ExxonMobil starting to rebound a little bit. Again, dollar index is just consolidating pretty sideways. We bought the dip in the SPY. Here's Tesla. Now, Tesla has done it. Now, Tesla is one of the first to do it. Even where it's at now, Tesla has kind of done it. Yeah, and I get there's a lot of reasons. And it's all good, Aldrin. I know you've been here a while, bro, and it's all good, dude. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. I'm just stating my bias with Mullen and why I don't like it. And I think the stock market is one of those things where you got people that like and dislike certain stocks, and that's okay. That's the beautiful part of the stock market. But Yeah, I don't like Mullen. Again, I think best case scenario for Mullen, and this is a good case. Like, listen, for holders of Mullen, this is this is. I don't think the likelihood is that. I don't think the probabilities are that low that one of the big boys comes around and buys Mullen's technology. If Mullen has interesting enough technology like that, a big boy could come along and throw, a couple hundred, throw 10, 20, 30 million at it and say, hey, I'll buy you right now. And CEOs are going to say, hey, man, I could take 30 million or I could risk losing everything if the stock goes to zero. And I think a lot of those CEOs are going to take that. And I think for Elon or somebody like that, it's going to be just dropping the bucket. And so I think that's possible. And I think, if that happens, that'll probably positively influence the stock. All right, guys, SPY running up a little bit here. We are sitting in the SPY. We did buy the dip. We are up some. We're going to let it keep working. Yeah, Lucid. I mean, a lot of these EV brands are going to be tough. All right, so we're going to scale out of this here. So we scaled out a little bit more. We got 10 shares left of the SPY. Bought the SPY dip. We'll go ahead and cut it. So made about $30 on this little SPY trade. Not bad for the morning. Got a little cushion here. Hey, what's up, Chris? Hey, go Tigers, Chris. Yes, sir, man. Hey, if there was there's two teams I would really like to beat: Ole Miss and Bama. I mean, we have very low probability of beating Bama this year, but we beat Ole Miss and they were undefeated. So shout out to us. Go Tigers. How about the Astros too, man? Just doing things. I think the Astros will win the World Series, and I think they need to, man. I think with all the people saying cheaters for the Astros, everybody's hating on them. Again, you look at the comment section on YouTube, bro, for the Astros games. People are just crying and whining. Man, the Astros cheated. Y'all be quiet, man. Nobody cares anymore. It's 5 years ago. Like, y'all trying to use that as a crutch just to cry because your team lost is ridiculous. Y'all get out of here with that. Nobody cares. The Astros are obviously a good team. SPY up to 376. We'll see if it holds. I gotta hurry up and drink my coffee today. I gotta stop drinking coffee 4 hours before this. I got some type of calcium score. Oh, you were there, bro. Nice, man. Yeah, day trade it, man. Hey, do your thing. I'm not mad at that, Aldrin. Hey, nice, Jose. Hey, nice, man. Well, not sticky stuff. Sticky stuff is they're mad at the Astros for the trash can debacle. Basically, here's to give you some insight into the Astros cheating scandal, and this was actually true, and so they have it on tape. But basically, either the pitcher was signaling what he was going to throw, or the catcher was signaling what he was going to throw, or they were using camera technology to pick up the signals of the catchers and the pitchers so that they knew what the pitcher was going to throw. And then they had different sounds that they would bang off of a trash can to signal that, right? So if it was a trash can, it would be one loud bang, and if it was a curveball, it'd be bang, bang on the trash can, right? So by that, the batters would know what the pitcher was going to throw and in turn could hit the ball, There was also Jose Altuve, where he didn't want to take his shirt off. Speculation is that he had some type of sensor attached to him, and that's why I didn't want to take the shirt off. But it's actually been proven that Jose Altuve did actually have a really bad tattoo that he didn't want people showing, that he was embarrassed about, that he was getting covered up, and he actually proved that and showed people that. So, was some of the hate justified? Sure. But at this point, 5 years later, it's time to let it go now, Like, people holding on to it, acting like, it's just ridiculous. And I think Astros need this W. SPY, rip it up. It's at 377s. If earnings come down, will inflation come down? Well, the inflation report for next month is going to be for this month. So we'll see. It could. Again, a lot of inflation is oil and food. Like, that's why they have core inflation. Core inflation is excluding energy and food, right? But basic inflation, a large percentage of basic inflation is going to consist of energy and food prices. And it kind of makes sense if you really think about it, right? Like, what type of price increases affect us the most in our day-to-day lives as humans, right? gas prices and food prices, right? Those are the two things that are going to affect us the most. So in my opinion, some people will say only look at core inflation. I don't agree. I think we have to look at what affects us the most, which is energy and food, right? Even if we're talking about the Mexican inflationary data that dropped this morning, again, the first half month-over-month inflation for Mexico came in at 0.44% versus 0.53% expected. So again, better than expected for the first half month of inflation. So the first 2 weeks of this month, I guess, we actually had lower than expected inflation, which is great. This is what we specifically want, and good. Hopefully, hopefully we get some continued signs of lower inflation. But again, that drops. CPI data drops on the 13th. Today we have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. It's a monthly report by the Chicago Fed that tracks economic activity in the 7th district, which is Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. It's useful in tracking economic growth and identifying inflation. Higher than expected readings should be taken as positive. Lower than expected reading should be taken as negative. And so again, we want lower. We want lower reading. Last time was 0.29. We want under that. Under that will cause a positive reaction. SPY still moving up. Tesla at 209.70s here. Tesla at 209.70s. Talk about Mullen. I already did. Yeah, for sure, Chris. I mean, here's the reality of it. Okay. Baseball is a sport that romanticizes getting an edge however you can. All right. The only problem with the Astros is that they got caught. Baseball is a sport that romanticizes cork bats and pine tar to give pitchers an edge. You know what I mean? And doing whatever you can. Like, here's an example. All right. I believe it was when the Dodgers were playing. The Dodgers were playing somebody. I think it was the Dodgers. And I want to say it was Seager, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, in a game of baseball this year, they dropped their game notes. One of the other teams dropped their game notes, right? And a guy struck out. And as he struck out, he noticed that the catcher or whomever had dropped their game notes, their notes for the other team. And so what happened is the guy picked it up and stuck it in his pocket. Basically took the guy's game notes, right? He took their notes so he would know how they're preparing to play them on the other team, right? That is baseball. Find an edge however you can, right? The people that are still crying about the Astros or Astros doing that are people that are just mad because their team lost that year and they're just looking for a crutch. SPY up to 377s. He had 377s on the SPY. Still moving up big. The dollar index is not really dropping here. The dollar index is mostly staying sideways. So we haven't really done much. Tesla rebounding back, though. So we're looking a little bit better there. Oil is down slightly on the day. Tesla moving up a little bit, though. Tesla at 210s right now. And again, with the Cybertruck coming out sometime soon, are you dip buying Tesla? All right, guys. SPY still moving up at 377s here. We have Tesla at 209.75s. Yeah, bro. LSU's been a weird team this year, man. It's been one of those teams that, like, we do really poorly in the first half of the game, and then we just do come back like lightning in the second half. It's kind of crazy how many times that's happened this year, man. But hey, it happened with the Saints a little bit too. All in Tesla, this price is a joke. Even without the Cybertruck or FSD, people will realize in a year or so. Yeah, I think it's probably there's probably an argument for buying the dip. But again, I'm not telling people what to do. Oh yeah, people are gonna buy it. I think the fact that it doesn't look. I think the fact that people are hating on the way. I think the fact that the Cybertruck is so different looking. It looks so different. I think that's gonna make people buy it more because they're gonna want to be seen, man. They want to be seen, and I think Elon is really smart because frankly, he created the Cybertruck to look like this intentionally because he understands, regardless of what people say, people are going to buy the Cybertruck because it's going to get them noticed, right? Regardless of whether people say ooh or people say you know, it's going to people are going to notice you if you're driving around in a Cybertruck, and so I think that's going to make the sales run up. And so I think there's some arguments for a Tesla dip buy here because of that. All right, guys. SPY's still moving up though. The dollar index is not really coming down though. Look at the SPY. SPY up to 477.19s. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Chris, 100%, man. There's no good EV truck out there yet. Yeah. Uh, well, I mean, it depends on good is subjective. Yeah, man, I did see Joe, but I did see Burrow, man. He's been doing great, man. I'm proud of him. A lot of people doubted him prior to him. When he was the first pick of the draft, a lot of people were mad. A lot of people said it should have been Tua. Um, there's a lot of people that were upset that Joe Burrow was the first pick by the Bengals. I think he's proven that he was the best man for the job. People said a lot of things. They said his hands were too small, and just all this hate on Burrow whenever he got drafted number one pick back then in 2020. And so, yeah, it's good to see him prove the doubters wrong. His literal first full season, his rookie season, he got injured, but his first full season, he went to the Super Bowl. Can't knock that. Now he's got another winning record team for the Bengals, and they're doing great, man. Proud of Joe. That's great. He, like I said, he's going to be a Louisiana. People of Louisiana are going to support Joe his whole career, 100%. And I think as long as we can beat the Ravens, we're going to get a chance at. I think the AFC North is weak in terms of like division, and I think we have a shot to go to the playoffs again for the Bengals. Hopefully they do. Dollar index still moving up a little bit. SPY dipping down some too. I could buy this dip. Tesla up to 210s, rejected right off of 210, and look at that rejection here. So again, we got a little rejection there at 210s. Nice, man. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, man, he's proven a lot of people he should have been higher up as a pick, but Hurts was always good, man. He just didn't like Oklahoma. They were a decent team. They made it to the playoffs. They competed heavily with us. But again, Hurts, man, he didn't have the team to back him up. Oklahoma was good, but he kind of held that team up back then. It also kind of shows that like how talented Bama's roster was. Bama had Jalen Hurts as backup QB. They had Tua and Jalen. It also the question also is should Nick Saban have played Jalen instead of Tua? Especially when you got Tua. I don't know. Tua's always been great, but Tua seems fragile. Anyways, dollar index is starting to move up to test that 112 level. Tesla at 209.40s. Hey, what's up, Williams? Nah, I'm drinking coffee today, man. I'll be all right. I got a calcium test I got to do today. SoFi. Doesn't SoFi have earnings coming out sometime soon? Here's SoFi right here. Doesn't it have earnings dropping sometime soon? The problem with SoFi is just how far it's fallen over the last year, man. SoFi was really hyped up, but that's a rough looking chart. I know the whole market hasn't really done great, but yeah, it's a rough looking chart. What else are you guys watching today? Team, anything? All right, but Tua came back and he did good, man. I'm just nervous for Tua. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think the Dolphins are going to make it to the playoffs. The Bills are standing in their way, man. And Josh Allen, he's no joke. SPY up to 377.20s, 377.30s. Just SPY just broke highs of pre-market here. So SPY still running up. Market looks good. Nice upward movement here. Nice upward move. We got the dollar index trying. It's at 112.40s. SPY just broke highs at 377.50s here. SoFi just looking weak now. Again, I don't know. Y'all can try to sell me on it. What do you guys think of this? AMD, other chip stocks, Nvidia. So chip stocks have actually gotten beat up. Is it time to start buying the dip in some of these chip stocks? Let me know. What do you guys think? Is it time to buy the dip in some of these? Again, guys, remember we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping today, and higher is worse. So we want to see lower than expected numbers here. We'll see if we actually get it. TCDA failed phase 3 trial results. Wow, man. And this is the risk with biotech companies. This is one of the reasons I never, ever, ever invest in biotechs. Again, big risk, big reward with some of these. But again, this is the reason I never invest in biotechs. There's just too much risk of this. Like, this can happen. Again, biotech companies, they can look the most favorable. But like one bad trial, and, you know, again, their company can just go to nothing, unfortunately. But yeah. Top line results from the Valor CKD phase 3 trial reported that it did not meet its primary endpoint, and this thing just catastrophically tanked down. Just huge drop here, big drop, unfortunately, for this. And yeah, it's one of the reasons, again, I just won't buy a biotech long term. I never hold a biotech. Again, there's just too much risk. Not unless you can get in really, really cheap, but even still, like putting heavy money. Again, it's big risk, big reward, you know, but just too much risk for me. Nvidia might surprise next earnings. The 4090 is selling hot, and people go insane about the performance of the 4K VR. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought it was understandable that Nvidia would react negatively to this latest earnings report last time, mostly because, you know, we had the ETH merge, you know, and people aren't going to be using the graphics, you know, cards anymore with Nvidia to a certain extent for mining ETH, and so that was, of course, going to cause at least a short-term drop. But I think once that, I think they're pretty cheap relative to where they could be. Where's Bitcoin at right now? Bitcoin's still doing well. Bitcoin is at 19.4. So Bitcoin's starting to come back a little bit here. All right, guys. So again, Tesla breaking highs again. Dollar index is starting to fall more. You can see the SPY actually rip up. It's at 377.50s here for the SPY. So we're actually starting to move up. All right, guys. SPY rip it up more at 377.70s. Dollar index is falling down here. This is great news. All right, guys, look at the SPY pop up. It's at 378.07s. All right, guys, SPY rip it up here. Look at the dollar index crashed out here. Let's see if we got any news to influence this here. But yeah, market just tanked big here. I don't see any new stuff, but dollar index is falling dramatically. Tesla moving up, SPY ripping up great here. That's 2 days in a row. Friday was really green, and today was really green as well. And so, hey, good for us, man. Hey, let's see the market continue here. Hopefully it does. But yeah, we got a few people asking about my hard stuff. The echocardiogram was Friday, and so hopefully we get my results today. I'm gonna bug them until they at least look at it and give me my results. All right, guys, got a little pullback here. Dollar index is moving up. Tesla finally dipping down some more. All right, guys. So what else we got, guys? All right. All right, guys, getting a little dip here. Y'all buying this dip here? Let me know if y'all are buying this dip. All right, USD 20. All right, guys. So yeah, buy in the dip here. Let me know if you guys are doing it here. Tesla pulling back under 210s. I still think we might get a little dip that we can take advantage of here. At least I'm hoping we can. Again, the market is up over the last couple days. You know what I mean? But I think we might have some short-term extension on the downside. But hopefully we can hold these gains and continue moving up. Again, dollar index is at 112.20s here, 112.20s. Looks like Friday. I mean, market's doing okay. Yeah, Friday. Early here. What's up, Jake? Hey, thank you, Tony. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm okay. I feel fine, man. I feel fine. And so I think I'm probably okay. I feel okay. All right, guys, we are dipping down a little bit. Should I buy this dip? I might buy like 10 shares starting here. So I'm going to start out with 10 shares here. And this 10 shares right now, we got about 377.20. So I'm going to start with 10. Just 10. Let me check the polls here. So we did a poll this morning. We got about 420, 30, 40. We got about 500 votes. 54% think the market's actually going to end green this week. 33% think the market's going to end red. And 14% think the market's going to stay neutral here. Again, do y'all think we're going to go green this week? Market's starting to rebound big. Again, the only problem in my personal subjective opinion here, all right, we're going to add a little bit more to this. We're going to take 20 shares. We're probably going to keep it at that. We're not going to add any more to this. I think 20 shares is fine. The problem, though, is I think if we do have some extension here, like, look, we got the SPY on the left. The problem with this is, like, when we look at this over a longer period of time, we might be a little bit extended on the upside now. You know, over the last, let's look at a 90-day chart. All right, here's a 90-day chart, or let's put a 4-hour chart here. Again, we might be a little bit extended on the upside. You can see we had this big rebounds. Really, we started rebounding essentially since, the last week or so. So back the last week or two, we've been moving up pretty dramatically. Back on the 12th of October, we were at about 350s. Now, we have had some swings, and I do think a really relevant level to watch for the SPY here is this level right here at about 280. 280 a big level. I think 280 is a pretty large level to pay attention to. I think 280 is going to be relevant, and if we run into that, we'll see if we can actually break over that spot or not. But yeah, watching 377, but let's watch 280. We're getting close enough to it. We also had the dollar index fall recently here, so we'll see if we bounce back. Tesla at 209s, so we're keeping an eye on that as well. Yeah, for sure. I'm green for the month so far. Thanks for your insight. Hey, thank you, Ricky. Yeah, 380, bro. That's what I'm watching. Not financial advice. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe the market goes up, down, sideways. No idea. Might just be wildly wrong. Maybe the market just, crashes. Maybe it rips up. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Not an investment professional. Don't sue me. Please don't copy me. That's all I'm saying. All right, so we got a little bit of green here on our SPY dip buy. We bought it at the dip at 377 here, and we'll see if we continue bouncing up. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll end green or red today? Green or red? Again, green or red today, guys? All right, guys, we're going to do a poll here as well. Wait, there we go. All right, so we got a nice little bounce back here. I did get a nice little bounce back. All right, so we just did our poll on Twitter. Will the market end red or green today? Also, I'm going to post this link. Give me a follow on Twitter if you have not already. We appreciate it. Open it up in a new tab, of course, but here is our poll for the day on Twitter. Will the market end green or red? SPY bouncing back a little bit. The dollar index did reject some here. So we got somewhat of a rejection here as well. It's about 8 a.m. At about 8:30, we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping today. Yeah, I had to look up what that meant, Danielle. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you're looking at, though. Again, I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not trying to be that. What I will say is, like, I've been pretty right about most of my swing trades. Like Disney, we called Disney at 91. We've gotten to a bunch of trades that we were pretty correct on. DraftKings, we called it at like 11. And so we've been pretty right. At the same time, though, I could be wildly wrong about everything. I'm not really trying to create some place where I give out picks or call outs. I think that can turn really predatory really, really fast. And so instead, what I'd rather do is just kind of give everything away for free, not claim to be an expert, not sell a course or a service and anything like that, and just got to put everything out there for free. That's kind of the goal of the channel. That's just to be a free resource and community. So with that said, guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I certainly appreciate all the love and support we've gotten over the last couple weeks. It's been an amazing month or 2 or 3 really for growth here, and we are pumping towards 100K. We're almost at 90K now, so hey, help us hit that number, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you all. We do have big earnings this week, guys, that we're going to cover live. Again, we stream all the major economic earnings, or all the major economic activity. We stream all the big earnings releases as well. This week, we've got Apple, Google, Amazon, a lot more stuff, UPS, Coca-Cola, all that good stuff. And so, again, we will be covering those as soon as they happen. So subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate you all. And let's keep the growth up, team. Hey, what's up, Christo? Hey, good morning. How about Game of Thrones, man? Did y'all like the last episode? No spoilers, don't ruin it. I've seen it already, but for anybody that hasn't seen it, just don't spoil it. But how about that ending? You guys like it or dislike it? Hey, thank you for the follow. Shout out to the people following me on Twitter. I appreciate you guys. All right, guys, so we got the dollar index falling down a little bit. We bought the SPY dip. We got 20 shares. We're not going to take any size positions here. We're going to keep it at 20, and we're going to get out of this if it goes against us. Really bad red day today. The free advice in your opinion is awesome, man. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Traveling. I appreciate you. Really bad red day. I don't know. Market's green, pretty green. So in order to go red, we'd have to break all the way down under 374.20s, which we're pretty high above that right now. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, it could ultimately happen, but I think a red day is going to be a lot harder to get now because of how extended we are on the upside. I think we might pull back some, but yeah, I'm just bummed we got to wait 2 years in between episodes. Danielle, I'm not saying you are this, but when you say I am investment professional, the alarms go off in my head. We get a lot of scammers here, and so it looks like, and then opening my own investment firm after a few more exams, it could be a scammer. I'm not 100% sure. So I just got to start watching that person and be really careful. What do you guys think? Do y'all think it's a scammer? Again, usually when you see that, they say, oh, message me kindly for the greatest investment opportunity of the world. And then they'll claim, they'll be like, yeah, we can earn you 40% in the next week. Just send me 50 Bitcoin, is what they say. Again, that's what the scammers say. I'm not asking for that. That's what the scammers do. Y'all just be very careful. We've also had a lot of fake me's show up in Discord. A lot of fake me's join our Discord server and say, hey guys, it's John. I've got this great business opportunity. Hey, remember, I'm never going to message you. I am never going to message you saying, hey, I've got some. I'm never going to. Here's the thing. This is what I see them doing a lot. They message people and they thank them for subscribing. They say, oh, thank you for subscribing. I'm never going to message you thanking you for the subscribe. I appreciate y'all subscribing. But if you get somebody with my handle or my chat room name messaging you, thanking you for subscribing, it ain't me. I'm not sending you anywhere. It is a scammer pretending to be me, trying to get you to join some sketchy stuff, trying to steal your money, basically. Do not do it. How about those Astros? Yes, sir. I am a breakfast professional. Top 3. Yeah, the fact that they're not sending me another message back makes me think that it's probably a scammer. Yeah. All right, guys, so we're getting some drops here. Again, I'm not going to hold this forever. I'll let the dollar index break over that. If it breaks over that, we'll cut it. We'll be patient, though. We got a little bit of green on the day, and it's all good. All right, guys, we got about 28 minutes until these numbers come out. But yeah, since I'm not getting any response, and they literally said, I am investment professional with bad English, we're just going to ban them. I am opening up my own investment firm after a few more exams. All right, yeah, we're just going to get them out of here then. All right, got a little bit of a bounce back of the SPY here. We'll see if it continues. Yeah, next week Fed meeting. Next Wednesday, guys. Next Wednesday is chaotic week for Fed activity. Amazon earnings are not today. Yeah, I watched the UFC this weekend, bro. Honestly, I was shocked at how well Makhachev did. He's probably going to be a champ for a long time. Makhachev tapped out Oliveira, which is just a credible feat, man. Unbelievable. We don't have Amazon earnings today, do we? Are Amazon earnings today? I didn't think so, right? Yeah, I don't think Amazon earnings are today, guys. Amazon earnings are... Maybe they are. Let me see. If they're today... Yeah, Amazon earnings aren't until the 27th, so Amazon earnings are Thursday. All right, so we don't have Amazon earnings today. We don't have any major earnings today that, like, you guys know of. We've got Royal Phillips, Bank of Hawaii, Bank of Marin, Community Bank. We've got HBT and KEX. Those are the only earnings we've had today that are, somewhat big, but the rest of them are pretty small. Like, again, this evening we have Logitech, Crane, Zion Bancorp, Discover. Nothing really major enough to cover, in my opinion. I mean, we can cover them, but nothing big enough to really make it interesting. Not any other big enough earnings to really make worthwhile. All right, so we did get a rebound in the SPY here. So we did get a bot back over 377s. Now, again, we'll see if we actually hold this level now. Yeah, big earnings are starting tomorrow. I wasn't really going for anybody. I guess I would have liked to see Oliveira hold the belt a little bit longer because, I mean, he was just such an underdog for a long time, and then he started to finally just do his thing. But Makhachev, I'm impressed by Makhachev as well. So I didn't really play a favorite there. I didn't really want anybody to win or lose. I was just wanting to see a good fight, which it was. Makhachev was impressive, though. I'll give him that, man. I think he's going to be the next Habib. All right, guys, we are getting some move ups here. Again, we got 20 shares, relatively small share size. I could add some more to this if we pull back to 377 because I really like it if we get a dip back to 377. I'm not sure if we're going to get that or not, but I do kind of like this here. If we can get a pullback, I'll add some. But I got to wait for that. I'm not going to add any now. I might add like another 10 shares max, though. I'm not going to take any big size. And it could be something where I take profit up here at 377.50 and then scale down some too. It just depends. Yeah, I thought as impressive as O'Malley was versus Jan, and I think Jan is just a beast, dude. As impressive as O'Malley was, I thought he lost that fight. He did lose that fight. Let's just be honest. He lost. All right, we're gonna add on the dip here. We got 30 shares of the SPY now. We got 30 shares of the SPY. Buying a little pullback, seeing if we get another bounce back up. I'll add a little bit more too. We'll take 40 here. But yeah, I thought O'Malley lost that fight. Even if the Fed pivots in December, the economy is already, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how many basis points we get raised. I think the expectation is 75 basis points is what we're going to get for next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we got the FOMC meeting, and then it'll be big, guys. So y'all be ready. But next Wednesday, huge day for stocks. Huge day. Not only do we have big earnings moving forward, but next Wednesday, not really any big earnings, actually. So I'm looking at the earnings in the evening. I guess they're probably keeping the earnings a little bit quiet. We got Aurora, but nothing really major in terms of earnings for next Wednesday. Surprising. We got CVS in the morning. Roku. Oh, we do have some earnings. So we got Roku and QCOM next Wednesday. And so next Wednesday is actually huge here. I should have... So next Wednesday, we've got Roku, QCOM, Etsy, eBay, MGM, Skills, Robinhood, Zillow earnings. As well as we got the FOMC rate hike decision and meeting. As well as in the morning, we've got CVS, Humana, Estee Lauder. Just big stuff, Ferrari. So yeah, just big stuff happening next week. So again, we got the SPY dipping here. I'm kind of surprised to see this happen. Usually this is not going to happen. I'll let it work here. I don't mind just kind of sitting in this. Again, we still got a couple minutes until the numbers come out for the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. That does drop today. We are going to put it in sub-only mode, guys. So if you haven't already, subscribe, of course. We appreciate the love and support. If you haven't already subscribed, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. I don't really trade that Google. Yeah, I'm not really wanting to trade that market, brother. So no, the next rate hike decision is the next FOMC decision is November 2nd. So it's next Wednesday. And again, that's what I'm saying. Next Wednesday is going to be a huge day for stock market activity. We're going to have next Wednesday, we've got the FOMC rate hike decision, the FOMC press conference with Jerome Powell. We've got a lot of stuff happening. We've got Roku, Zillow, Robinhood earnings, just a lot of stuff happening next Wednesday. Big earnings happening this week and next. Like, no question, we'll break 90K subscribes this week. I'd love to break 91 if we can. We are pumping towards it, though. Let's see if we can hit it. Looking at our poll here. We did a poll on Twitter. We asked people, with the market in red or green today? 71% think green, 29% think red. Again, we are getting a little bit of a pop here. We're kind of letting the market chill. Kind of having inverse head and shoulders right here on the SPY short term. You can see the shoulders here and here. Just to show you. Like, we got the inverse head and shoulders. We got the shoulders here. Here's the head. So we do have the inverse head and shoulders that we're watching here to see if we get a little bounce. Completely break even. Ideally, I'd like to see the dollar index fall down like this. I want to see the dollar index fall down here. Whew, man, that little downwick scared me. Y'all see this? These are random rogue orders getting filled. You see that? That's like random weird orders getting filled. But man, that scared the crap out of me. Just for a second. You could even see my P&L reflected for a second, but it's all good. ExxonMobil just broke under the red level. All right, we are getting a little bit green here. Still waiting. Again, getting a little bit of a dip here. I'd like to see if the dollar index will continue to break down there. There's Tesla at 209s. And getting a little bit of a pop. All right, starting to get a little pop up. Again, we got Tesla moving up. Dollar index did break underneath this level, which is, again, precisely what we wanted here. Here's that level. Here's the dollar index fall. That's going to cause some upward movement in markets, usually, is what we're kind of looking for in terms of sympathy move. Again, we'll kind of sit here patiently waiting, though. I don't really cover penny stocks, Bob. It's not really something that I've been covering much anymore. It's just I got to stick to how I really trade, right? And I don't really trade penny stocks like that. I think most penny stocks, a lot of those markets are predatory and they prey on new small account traders who don't have that much money. And, you can day trade them and that's fine. But I think a lot of people end up getting stuck when they're day trading and then just sitting on them as investments and losing a bunch of money, and I just can't get behind that personally. There's some penny stocks that have big edges here, but I'm just not really a penny stock trader. I haven't been for years. And so we're just covering what we normally trade. I think most penny stocks are going to get traders in trouble. And I think if I'm going to morally justify this community, I got to tell people the truth and trade what I think will help traders, not. And I don't think penny stocks are that. I think most penny stocks have very sensationalized catalysts in marketing. If you read some of the catalysts for penny stocks, it's like the Wolf of Wall Street. Aerotine cutting high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting patent approval and next generation of radar detectors, civilian and military use now. I think that's how you have to sell penny stocks, because they're terrible companies. So I just can't get behind pumping them like that or pushing them. Right here, we're going to cover the Chicago Fed National Activity Index right here. We're going to drop it as soon as it goes live. We cover all the major economic activities. So we cover all the big drops. We cover CPI, PPI, PCE deflator, Chicago Fed National Activity Index, housing starts. We cover all the big economic data right here. So as soon as it comes out, within 5 seconds, we will drop exactly what just dropped. As soon as it comes out, within 5 seconds. All right, not only that, but we also day trade, swing trade, and invest. We trade a 30,120K buying power account on Thinkorswim. We also trade futures at the opening bell in terms of day trading. We also cover all the big earnings releases. So we cover all the big earnings releases. Last week, we had Tesla, Netflix, Snapchat, streamed all the earnings calls, all the earnings releases live here as well. So if you haven't already, guys, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We truly appreciate you all. And again, we don't sell or charge for any content. We just kind of give everything away for free. We don't have any paywalls behind of our content. You can just kind of, you can catch everything we say for free. You don't have to pay. All right, guys. So again, with the SPY trade just now, we're a little bit break even here. I'd like to see if this pop rejects here. Like if we get a rejection in the dollar index right here, I'd really like to see that. We got about 15 minutes. Hey, thank you, MA. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, what's up, JT? Again, y'all hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. We appreciate you all. Market is kind of going back and forth right now. We're in a small position here. Let's get a nice little rebound now. All right, we're trying to move up. There's the SPY. Again, we're about break even here. You see this level I drew here on the SPY, guys. Remember, I drew this level before this rejection. All right, so I drew this level before this rejection. Let's see if we get that level to hold. There's the SPY move up. There's the Tesla move up as well with it. Again, 16 minutes. We got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. And again, it's a monthly report by the Chicago Fed Reserve that tracks economic activity in the 7th district, which is Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. It's useful in tracking economic growth and identifying inflation. Higher is worse. For this, guys, remember, higher is worse. And so we want to see lower numbers because that signals lower inflationary, data. And so that's what we want. And so again, that's what we're waiting on today. Again, we got about 13 minutes before it comes out. 13 minutes. We'll probably get ready to cut the SPY here. We're not going to hold this forever. We might actually be right here, but we're going to patiently chill. We're going to get out and just kind of sit. It might actually work in our favor, but we're going to sit on the profit we have, All right, guys. So we did pop up on the dollar index. We did drop a little bit more on the SPY. Probably the right move to exit it. How long do you stream for? We stream all the way until past the opening bell. We stream till about like 10:30, 10:30 market time. Maybe a little bit longer, less, depending on what's going on that day. What do you think about LSU getting fined for running the field? I don't care about that. I mean, I think it's dumb that they're getting fined for it. I think that's one of the romantic parts of college football. And so I think they should let them do it. But, they're just looking for money. So, whatever. All right, guys. SPY at 376.60s here. Tesla at 209.40s. Dollar index is at 112.18. All right, we're at 112.20s here for the dollar index, 112.20s. Tesla is at 209.40s. SPY is at 376.50s. So again, we're starting to get some breakdowns. Let's see if we get a little dip in the SPY. Are you guys buying this dip? Let me know. Again, look at the dollar index pop. We got this level here. Maybe we'll reject there. We kind of teetered off of this level too. Here's the SPY though. I mean, again, we're so green on the day. I guess what we're looking for now on the SPY is to see if we're actually going to hold these gains. Now we do have about 19 or 11 minutes until we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index dropping in about 10 to 11 minutes. We did have Toyota Motors that put out something that said that they're planning to start production and sales of an EV in China powered by BYD batteries for Toyota, which is TM. It's a simple TM. Dollar index just opened up for the day, and it is up to 112.20s here. I think as long as we hold under 112.15, I think we'll be fine. I think as long as we hold under 112.15, we'll be okay. All right, guys. So again, dollar index is still moving up. All right, guys, we're down at 376.20s here, 376.20s. Tesla is at 209 here. We have the dollar index at 112.20s. So we still got some movement going up here. Again, we do have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index coming out pretty soon. Yeah, they'll be all right, man. That's ridiculous. Any big game, the crowd always rushes to the field. Any big win, the crowd always rushes the field, man. You know what I mean? So of course we're gonna rush the field. How long before opening bell? About an hour and 9 minutes. Data drops in about 9 minutes, though. So for the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, that data drops in about 9. Yeah. Yeah, we got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, Jeanette. Yeah, go Tigers. That's right. All right, 376. Let's see if SPY holds at 376. We could. Hopefully we do. Again, we consolidating a little bit on the dollar index here. So again, is it time to buy this dip? Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, we're just kind of sitting back, waiting, trying to be patient here. Tesla at 208.60s. We got the dollar index there. What are you guys watching today? Are we overbought here? Are you going to do the earnings report? Yeah, for sure, Omar. We're going to do the earnings report. Today, we don't really have anything major. So today, we don't really have any big earnings today. If we look at the earnings from this morning, we've got today we have nothing big. We got Royal Phillips, Dorman, Bank of Hawaii, just a bunch of companies nobody's ever really heard of. This evening, we've got Logitech is the big one. Aside from that, we got Discover Financial. And that's it basically today. A bunch of small companies that nobody's ever heard of basically today dropping earnings. tomorrow is when the big earnings start. So again, tomorrow we started off with UPS in the morning, Coca-Cola in the morning, General Motors in the morning, General Electric in the morning, JetBlue, Valero, Raytheon in the morning, Sherwin-Williams, TransUnion, Xerox, Shutterstock, just a lot of big numbers coming out tomorrow morning. Not huge, UPS, Coca-Cola, biggest ones for sure. Those are going to impact markets, of course. Those drop tomorrow morning, But then after that, in the evening is when the big earnings stuff really starts. We got Google, Microsoft, Visa, Chipotle, Spotify, Texas Instruments, Mattel. And a few other big ones tomorrow evening. That's when the big ones really start. We'll be streaming live as we always do. Google earnings start, so we will be streaming that live tomorrow evening. So y'all be ready, of course, for that. And then Wednesday, we got big stuff too. We got Boeing in the morning, Waste Management, Bristol Myers, Hilton, Kraft, Harley Davidson, General Dynamics, Hess, CME Group, and a few other ones tomorrow morning. Wingstop tomorrow morning. And then in the evening tomorrow, we've got Facebook, Meta, basically, Ford, Teladoc, QS, Upwork. So again, we're going to be streaming those as well live right at 4 p.m. on the dot, so you guys can see exactly what goes down for the earnings reports. And then Thursday of this week, we have Shopify in the morning, Caterpillar, McDonald's, MasterCard, Southwest, Merck, Hertz, and a few other ones in the morning on Thursday. And then the evening Thursday, we got big ones. We got Apple, Amazon, Intel, Pinterest, U.S. Steel, T-Mobile, big ones in the evening Thursday. And then Friday, we've got, I think, a bunch of, Friday we got oil. We got Exxon, Chevron, stuff like that. So that's this week, right? So just big numbers this week. Dollar index is still moving up. You can see Tesla and the SPY kind of pulling back. We got the VWAP right here on the SPY here. So I'm curious to see if we actually bounce at this volume weighted average price level right there. You can see the VWAP right there. We'll see if we actually hold that number or not. But we do have the VWAP right here. So we'll see if we actually hold that. And kind of generally the VWAP's a trend indicator, right? So you're going to get a stock that maintains a trend. It pulls back and then sometimes it bounces up like that. So that's kind of what we can look for here on the SPY. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's kind of what we're looking at to see if it does happen. And then again, next week we got some big stuff too. So next week, another really big Monday, not really anything major Monday. Again, we got about 4 minutes before the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, guys. Not really anything Monday to talk about. We got like Avis, Goodyear in the evening, a few other things. But Tuesday of next week, we have SoFi, Uber, Pfizer, BP, Marathon, Enterprise, Philips, Echo Labs, Cisco. So a lot of stuff happening Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday evening, we've got AMD, Airbnb, Electronic Arts. And then Wednesday, of course, we remember next Wednesday we have FOMC rate hike decision and meeting. That's big. But we got CVS that morning, Roku, QCOM, Marathon, Etsy, eBay that evening. So just big stuff going on there. Thursday of next week, we got Peloton, which will be interesting. DDOG, Moderna, Nikola, NKLA. Let's see if the earnings roll down, or roll up for NKLA. We have PayPal, Block, Coinbase, Thursday evening of next week as well. And then that's really it for the big earnings. We got like some other stuff like Palantir the week after that, the week starting on the 7th of November. It's kind of it for the big earnings that week. Activision, Lyft maybe coming out after that. Nothing else really big. Following that, we got Disney on the 8th. So I guess that's kind of big. We'll cover that, of course. Lucid on the 8th in the evening. Wednesday, we've got Roblox in the morning, Rivian in the evening. So we got some stuff coming up that the next week as well. So we'll still have some stuff that I'll still be streaming. Six Flags, Tapestry, Yeti. Nothing really big for Thursday or Friday of that week. Markets starting to break under VWAP here. Dollar index is still moving up some. So again, we're still pretty green on the day, but in order to go red on the day, guys, if you look at this here, in order to go red, we would have to hit this level. So you see this light blue line right here? That light blue line is the previous closing price. It's the level at which stocks go from red to green and green to red on the day. So we are now right around 375 up here. So again, we break all the way underneath that, we're going to be red on the day. So this light blue line right here is the previous closing price. Again, it's the level at which we go from red to green, green to red. So we'll see if we can hold over or under that line. Again, right now we got the Chicago Fed National Activity Index getting ready to drop pretty soon. It is a monthly report by the Chicago Fed that tracks economic data in the 7th district, which is Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. It's useful in tracking economic growth and identifying potential inflation. A higher than expected reading should be seen as positive for the U.S. dollar, which is going to cause bearish action. Lower is better right now in a time of high inflationary problems here. So again, the Chicago Fed National Activity Index drops today. Dollar index is up to 112s. 112s here. And again, hopefully we show something positive. But we got 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes for the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Y'all be ready. Again, Bear Bull, hit the subscribe button. What's up, Chris? I missed it, man. Yeah, all good. Palantir's got my number, bro. I can never pronounce it right, dude, ever. I never get it right, dude. It's all good, man. Yeah, Meta earnings. Let me know what you guys think. Meta's down big over the last couple of years, or over the last year or so. Let me know if you think it'll be finally green or red. All right, guys, less than a minute before the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Again, about 10 seconds here. Now, let's watch the market reaction. We might get a big reaction. We might not. Here is the SPY on the right. The dollar index is on the left. So we'll see how big of an impact these have. And we got about 5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds. All right, should be dropping any time now. Waiting. And all right, it came in at 0.10. 0.10. 0.10 is what it came in last time. So essentially completely neutral here. So 0.10, 0.1, I guess is what we should say. So it came in at 0.1, essentially completely neutral. So that's what we had last time was 0.1. Might not evoke a big, strong response from markets here. You saw we got a little bit of a pop up on this data, and we'll see if we react anymore. Dollar index didn't really move at all, but again, we came in at 0.1. We'll put this up on screen so you guys can see it. But again, 0.1 is what we showed up as. Again, unchanged from last time. Getting a big drop right now in the SPY. The dollar actually pushed up some here. So again, we'll see how the market interprets this. There were no expectations that I could see, but it was unchanged from last time, which, you know, is, again, a neutral reaction. Is it Palantir or Palantir? Now, I got to figure this out.
Palantir.
Palantir. Boom. Never again. Never again will I mispronounce Palantir.
Palantir.
Got it. Never again. I've ingrained this into my head now. I'll never forget it.
Palantir.
Got it. Never going to miss it again. Okay. All right, guys. So, unchanged. Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Unchanged. Nothing really big changed here. So, again, unchanged. 0.10 is what we came in at, or 0.1. And last time we had 0.1. So again, nothing really influential here. We're getting a dip here. SPY had some big candles, but didn't really end up going anywhere with them. All right, guys. All right, team, we're getting a dip down in Tesla, down to 208. Testing that 208 whole dollar level. SPY had some candles that were big, but still at 375.80s. right. All right, team. Again, we will see if we get anything good today. Let's see what else we got. Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Do we get anything else good? Got a little bounce back on the SPY here today. All right, guys, so we're starting to get a little bit of a pullback here. We got the dollar indexes at 112.30s. Still got some stuff going on. There's the SPY here. Dollar index is breaking the previous high of the open. You can see it opened up at about 720 or 820 market time. It's up to 112.30s here. 112.30s here. We got about 45 minutes to an hour after the opening bell. Let me catch back up on chat. Mullen squeeze. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Mullen here. We can look at Mullen. Dollar is pushing up. Here's Mullen right here. So Mullen is up to 46. So Mullen's been going up big today. And the problem is for me, you can day trade it. You can day trade it, but does Meta have good or bad earnings? Also, guys, y'all be sure to check out Chart Prime. Let me show you guys Chart Prime. This is something that I use heavily in my trading. Right, this is something I use heavily in my trading, and it makes sense why. Okay, I want to show you how powerful this is. I'm going to preface this with they are certainly a sponsor of my video, right? We're going to decline that. They're certainly a sponsor of my video, okay? But like where this comes in useful here is that this is an incredibly powerful tool. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, so what I love to use this for, number one, is just their candlestick patterns. Their candlestick patterns, very, very powerful. And again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. I'm certainly biased because they're a sponsor of my video. But like, check this out. This program on TradingView, and you can use it in stocks, futures, crypto, whatever you want to use it in, right? It can tell you the candlestick momentum coming through. Here's bearish engulfing candle. Big drops afterwards. Look at this one, a double bearish engulfing candle, which is even bigger bearish sign. Look at the huge follow-through drop that we got afterwards. And these candlesticks literally predicted it. And again, I can't guarantee it's always going to work. Here's another example, and this is on the SPY, which I usually trade bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. Look at the bounce, or look at the drops that we've got. Not only do they have these candlestick indicators, which is what I use the most, they also have this proprietary algorithm that literally predicts. It's a predictive algorithm. And of course, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with it, but it will predict the trend for you. It'll automatically document support or resistance and do a lot of other cool stuff. Like, look, possible reversal down, big drop. Possible reversal down, big drop. Possible reversal up, big bounce. Possible reversal down, drop. Drop. Possible reversal up, bounce. Possible reversal up, bounce. And so you can see how accurate this is. And of course, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with it. It also has this trend line here, which I forget what it's called, but it honestly works a little bit better than the volume weighted average price. And so again, this is a company called Chart Prime. Super, super useful company. It's actually pretty cheap as well. It's a TradingView indicator service. And again, they are a sponsor of my video. And so I'm certainly biased in their favor. But just a really cool program that I actually use with my trading. I don't really accept a ton of sponsors, but the ones I accept are actually beneficial for traders, in my opinion. And so again, I'll find this link if you want to help support the channel. I'll find the link. If you want to check out Chart Prime, you can use promo code BTRADE. Get 20% off. There's the link. Check it out. And yeah, pretty cool service, man. Like I said, I don't accept a ton of sponsors. You can find out the link in the description as well, though. But just pretty useful. What is the definition of a bearish engulfing candle? So they do hammer candles, they do bearish engulfing. An engulfing candle is a candle in which it completely covers up the last one, right? So a bearish engulfing candle means that you have one green candle, right? And then following that green candle, the next candle completely wraps over and under, like completely engulfs the previous candle, right? It's a bearish sign. A bearish hammer, a bearish or bullish hammer is exactly what it sounds like. Let's see if we can find an actual hammer candle. Hammer candles use down wicks and up wicks to identify momentum here. Here's an inverse hammer, right? So here's a hammer candle. You can see it's a bearish hammer, right? Why is it a bearish hammer? Is because if you look at this, really we have two of them. We got this one and this one, right? If you look at this, right, it looks like a hammer. You get the big long up wick and then you get the body hammer style thing right there. This one might not be, but this one definitely is. And the reason it works in identifying momentum is because in order for this candlestick to go all the way up and form that wick, it has to go all the way up and then get rejected really, really big. That's what forms these up wicks right here. Like that's what forms it. And so in that regard, whenever the candlestick goes all the way up and then slams down really fast, it forms these hammer style candles, and that's a signal of momentum. Now, of course, I can't guarantee anything's going to work. Nothing works 100% of the time in trading. Always do your own assessment, trade responsibly, of course. But yeah, that's kind of how you do it. SPY started to move back up here, so maybe I should have kept my little dip buy. We are bouncing around VWAP. Unchanged is still not the result the market wants to see. No, these indicators don't go back in time modifying the results. They tell you like on the spot when the candlesticks are. Like again, it doesn't go back and modify the results. And number two, Arthur, I've seen you be kind of critical about a few different things here. So it's all good, but just understand, like, just a little warning. We're not going to be too critical constantly. If somebody comes in here and they're just only saying negative things, they're eventually going to get banned. And just a friendly warning here. But no, with Chart Prime, they're just identifying candlesticks, right? And so they're not going to go back in time and say, hey, this is a candlestick. When it shows a bearish candlestick, they're just going to show you, hey, this is a bearish candlestick, right? They're not going back and changing it so that they can be right. It's literally just showing you, hey, here's a bearish candlestick. The indicator also does not go back in time and change anything. And it's wrong sometimes. Of course, it's not always right, but it's not going back and just changing it to be favorable for them. Like, that's not what it's doing. Again, I use this pretty consistently. That's not what it does. SPY up to 376.50s, and then the dollar index is falling down some. So we're actually evoking a positive reaction here. I don't know if it's from the U.S. National Activity Index or not, but yeah. Free speech. That's silly, man. Of course there's free speech, but if you're only saying negative things, I'm going to do whatever I want because it's my private channel, So, again, y'all can say whatever y'all want, but I can react however I want as well. So if I want to ban you guys, I will. All love here. Cheers. I would never ban you guys, but if you don't subscribe right now, I'll ban you forever. Okay, hit the subscribe button. You want to do it now. What are our big earnings this week? So, Cal, we have Apple, Amazon, Google, I believe we have Meta. I don't know if Meta is this week or next week, but it might be. It might be. So do you trade options for day trading? Sometimes. I mean, listen, I don't. They're a sponsor of mine, so it doesn't matter. You could use whatever link you want to use. I don't know if it stacks with that. You could try to for the Chart Prime. But again, they don't pay me commissions, and so you can use whatever link you guys want. That'll give you guys the best discount on the service that you can find. I'm not sure if it'll stack together though. So reach out to them and see. I'm really not sure. All right, guys. So again, market is starting to rebound a little bit. Dollar index is starting to fall down here. Hopefully, these have some positive results. Yeah, half the time I'm just kind of trolling the trolls. I think you got to respond with kind of a trollish nature. If not, they win. like I said, it's constructive criticism is fine, but if like you come in here and like you're only negative, you're gonna get banned. Like it's fine if you're positive most of the time and every now and then you say, hey, you can work on this, that's fine. But if it's just kind of only negative complaining, you're eventually just gonna get banned. That's not harmonic. Um, with that said, though, I appreciate all the supportive people. We got most people here are very supportive and just good peeps. And so we appreciate you guys. Sometimes the haters or the trolls are just louder, and that's okay. I think that's pretty standard. Anyway, SPY moving up big. We got Mullen dipping down here a little bit. I just don't trust Mullen here. I really don't trust it. Can you trade options on that platform? On which one? On TradingView? I don't think you can trade options. I mean, you can look at the underlying security that the option is based off of. But whether you can trade actual options, I don't think so. Hey, what's up, Arthur? Hey, my guy. Thank you, man. Meta October 26th. Okay, so it is. So again, October 26th. So Wednesday is Meta earnings here. And again, Meta is one of the more interesting stocks. What do you guys think? Meta, again, here's the problem with Meta. Here's my problem with investing in Meta. Okay, social media companies like Facebook generally only have about a 10-year lifespan. Okay. And so in that regard, they either need to acquire other up and coming social media platforms and they need to continuously do that if they're going to remain relevant. And I think this is excluding YouTube. I think YouTube is not even considered this. YouTube is going to be so powerful. I love YouTube stock. I think Google and YouTube are going to be fine long term. But for Facebook, the problem with Facebook is that, frankly, people don't use it anymore. Each new generation that happens, like I've got 2 kids, right? I don't allow them to use social media yet. They're just too young. But when they do, they're not going to be wanting Facebook. Young people don't use Facebook anymore. The only people that really use Facebook are the older generations, right? And that's specific that's intentional, right? Like young people don't want to use their parents' social media platform, right? And so that's a big problem for Facebook. Now, I know they acquired Instagram, right? But even Instagram is starting to kind of become less and less popular over time. And so I think that is the big question mark regarding Facebook on whether it'll still be around in a few years. And I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, thank you, William. Yeah, we try to be fair here. You know what I mean? It's all good. Yeah, all good, Kendo. I don't think you can trade options, And so again, does Facebook succeed long term from here? Or is it in trouble? Again, if I'm Mark Z, I'm trying to acquire the biggest. This is what Mark Zuckerberg is doing, just to put this into perspective. And I kind of agree with the strategy. I think you got to go all in on something, and he's going all in on the metaverse. Why is he going all in on the metaverse? Because that's where the young people are. The young people are into the metaverse by Mark's logic. And so what's Mark trying to do? Mark's trying to get a foothold in the metaverse. Why? To keep the young people interested in his platforms and his company, right? Because if he doesn't, then eventually Instagram's going to go away too, and he's not going to have anything. It's going to be worthless. And so in that regard, what he's trying to do, he's trying to get a foothold into something that young people care about, which is the metaverse. That is why he's buying up the metaverse. That is why he's pushing the metaverse. That is why he lost $10 billion in the metaverse last year in 2021, is because he's trying to get a foothold into something that young people are interested in doing. That's exactly what he's doing. That's what he's trying to do. And so what we can speculate on is whether that's actually going to be successful or not. Is the real question there. And again, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Will he succeed at getting the metaverse numbers? Is really what it is. That's what it's really about. Hey, then you need to scale down, bro. If you lost 15,000 in 2 weeks, you're trading way too large, brother. Way too large, man. No, Top Step doesn't allow options trading. It's only futures. And the futures market will get you around the PDT rule. Like there's no PDT restrictions in futures. You can day trade and short. And again, if you look at the SPY here on the right, what I usually use to trade these big economic releases is the futures market. If you look at the E-mini here in the middle, and then you look at the SPY on the right, you can see this is actually the same price action. It does the exact same thing. And you can trade this middle one here in the futures market with no PDT rule. And what Top Step does is Top Step funds you in futures. So they give you a demo. If you can hit the target on their demo while following their rules and conditions, and they fund you between 50 up to 150,000 with a 90% split, regulated by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. It's really, I think it's a great thing for traders, and I'll explain why. The futures market can go against you really, really quick. Buying the E-mini or something like that, your trades can go against you very, very fast, right? And so if you try to trade the futures market yourself for your first time, again, there's no PDT restrictions, and so you can day trade the SPY essentially with these big economic releases. But the problem is that it can be volatile. And so if you put up 10K yourself, for instance, in the futures market, odds are, as a brand new trader, you're going to lose tons of money. You're going to lose thousands of dollars, and it's going to be risky. And so I think what Top Step does, and the beautiful thing about Top Step, is that it provides a middle ground for you to use. They give you a demo, so you're still paper trading. It's only 130 something bucks a month if you use my link, and you get 20% off. And so they give you a demo, and your job is to hit a specific profit target. The base one, they give you 50K demo. You got to hit 3K in profit without losing over $2,000 total, or $1,000 per day. And so it's a middle ground. You have some pressure on you to succeed, and trading is about learning how to perform under pressure, but you don't have the full extent of trading just 10K plus of your own money, where you're probably going to lose thousands. And so you can get your feet wet in the futures market without risking a ton. And I think it does a great job. I think it's going to make you a better trader, regardless of whether you get funded or not. I think it's very difficult to get funded, of course, but it's a legitimate funded account program. It's the one that everybody else copies off of, and they are a sponsor of my video, and so they do sponsor me, of course. So I'm certainly biased in their favor. But again, I genuinely think it's good for traders. I think some traders are going to take the first combine, and they're going to lose. And then, so they're going to lose their 130 bucks, and then they're just not going to trade it anymore. And I think that's okay, because I think that's a lot cheaper than putting up 10, 15, 20K yourself and then just getting destroyed, losing thousands in the futures market for your first account. You know what I mean? And so I think good way to get active day trading experience, have some pressure to succeed, but not the full extent. There's also a 14-day free trial as well. And so you can try them out for free too. It's not the funded account program, but you can try paper trading there for free too if you want. But yeah, there's the link in chat. Check it out. Anyways, dollar index is starting to bounce back up a little bit. The SPY hasn't, brashly reacted to this yet, but we are getting a little pullback over the last two. I have the Oculus. I bought my kids 2 Oculus headsets for Christmas last year, and unfortunately, they just never used it. And so again, I bought my kids some headsets. Unfortunately, they just never used it. All right, guys, E-mini popping up a little bit. And again, you guys see big pull, but big rip up in the E-mini. Let's see if something else happened. We did have the National Activity Index come in pretty neutral here over time. Yeah, let me check that pawn. I got you, bro. Hold on. Yeah, fight ghosts. Yeah, I'm going to ban them. Yeah, it was just a WhatsApp scam is what it looks like, pawn. Hey, thank you, Douglas. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, y'all go give my boy Douglas on Twitter a follow here. Give my boy Douglas on Twitter. Great mod here. Great mod. Does a lot of really cool stuff for us. Works really hard. And so, yeah, y'all check out this link. Give your boy Douglas a follow. I'll consider a favor if you follow Douglas on Twitter. There's the link. Check it out. Facebook had 2 mega flaws that hurt them. They were too arrogant with the fact that they did not control the hardware running their platform. Want to hear it? We try. We try, man. Like I said, I'm trying to be honest with people. Again, I got a beautiful community here. We got some great traders, great content, great community here. Really do. Love my community here. I really do. We got a lot of great traders, a lot of just good people here that work with us. You know what I mean? in order to morally justify that, I got to be real with them, and so, of course, we have sponsors. We're going to subsidize the channel with sponsors, of course, and that should be an understandable thing. I'm not sitting here for 4 or 5 hours a day for nothing, of course. Like, we're going to have sponsors, but I'm not claiming to be an expert either, like, I'm not claiming to be a pro trader. I'm not claiming to be a guru. I'm not selling a course. I'm not doing any of that stuff. So, but my point is, I appreciate you all. Who's Mike? Oh. You can have an industry based on trust of your data and then do suspect stuff with everyone's data. Everyone turned off. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, that's any big social media platform. They make so much money from data that's an understandable thing, I think. Can you use Webull to trade futures? I don't think they have futures on Webull, no. So no, I don't think they have futures. All good, Randall. It's all good, man. Can you, Arthur? I didn't know if you could trade futures or not. I didn't think you could, but they might. I really don't know. Oh yeah, when is your new doctor's appointment? So they did an echocardiogram for me Friday. Today I have a calcium deposit or a calcium test of some sort. Still waiting to hear back on the echo. Today again we have the calcium test. Yeah, definitely top 3, Tyler. Who, Mike? They mentioned my channel. They mentioned my site. Oh no, I mean Top Step's a sponsor of mine. It's not mine. But yeah, we're gonna delete that just in case. How was the report? Well, the report was break even. It was neutral. Nothing crazy big or anything like that. Yeah, so again, dollar index is pretty sideways since the opening bell. SPY is too. We got about 35 minutes until the market opens here. 35 minutes. Yeah, you can trade futures on TOS. I could trade them right here. Like, here's the E-mini if you guys want to see me trade. Like, here is the micro E-mini. So here's the micro E-mini. I could trade this right now. I could buy the dip. I'll buy one contract here just as an example to show you guys you can. All right, so look, I got one contract of the micro E-mini. And again, I'm watching the SPY essentially. I can day trade watching the SPY here, basically. So again, bought the dip, see if we get a little bounce. Same price action as the SPY. And so really I'm looking at the SPY when I do this. But again, the fees are much higher on TOS. And again, the futures market can go against you very fast. Like, this is the micro E-mini, but like, again, I think Top Step has value because Top Step is going to help you get your foot in the door, get your feet wet in the futures market without risking a ton. Base package is like $132 a month if you use my link. And so, again, I think there's value in trying out futures with some pressure, but not the full extent of putting up your own money. Because I think it's going to save traders from losing way more than they need to. I think some traders are going to take the futures or trade Top Step, lose, and then just kind of give up. And I think that's fine. I think that's better than them putting up 10 or 15,000, losing 3 or 4K, getting really frustrated. I think Top Step has value, for sure. All right, so we just ended up cutting out, but you can see here, this is the micro E-mini. I just traded it on TOS, so you can trade, but again, Top Step I think has value. Here's AMC. AMC has 640s. Watching that. Here's Tesla. Tesla still consolidating at 208. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Good morning. Good morning. My name's not Mike, by the way, OJ. My name is not Mike, sir. Unless you're talking about another Mike, you might be. I don't know. Maybe hit the notification bell again, Strimbu. I'm not sure about it. So why a calcium test? So last week, my heart doctor diagnosed me with a right bundle branch block in my heart, which could be nothing. But it also scared the crap out of me. And, the whole reason I had gone to the heart doctor to begin with is because I was getting these weird chest pains when I breathed in. At some points in time, I was actually like waking up from my sleep gasping, like, gasping, as I woke up from sleep, which are all, could be signs of heart failure, to be honest, which is kind of scary. And so then when they did the EKG, they noticed the right bundle branch block in my heart. Now essentially they're just kind of doing a full workup of my heart to make sure I'm good. And to be honest, I'm kind of scared ishless, but I'm sure I'll be okay. Yeah, I think the Astros are going to win the World Series. I'm considering going. I don't know if I'm going to go to the World Series or not, but I'm considering it for sure. I don't know. Like I said, I could get 4 tickets for my family to the World Series Game 1 for like $2K. And it's kind of worth it for me. I might go. I don't know. Well, it has to be good seats, though. I'm not going to pay $2K for not good seats. But again, getting good seats for $2,000 for 4 tickets is going to be hard anyway for the World Series. $500 a piece is kind of cheap. Hey, thank you, crypto. Yeah, I go to the gym twice a week usually. I haven't gone to the gym since all this stuff's been going on, just as a precaution. But yeah, I usually go to the gym. I'm in pretty good shape. Like I'm like 5'11", 165 pounds maybe. So like I'm not in bad shape. You know, I would say I'm pretty good in terms of BMI. I'm pretty solid. Right in the middle. Right where I should be. Got pretty good cardio. I was a long distance runner in middle school, and I did cross country and track a little bit, but yeah, hopefully I'm alright. Hey, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. My diet is probably the worst part. I don't have a great diet. I'm in Texas. I eat a lot of barbecue. Not a lot of veggies, to be honest. Dollar index is up to 112.20s here, which is something I got to work on for sure. So look at the dollar index pop up big here. We got the SPY dipping down. It's at 376.80s here. So we'll see if it holds, but PMI is at 9:45 Eastern time, and what the effects. PMI, I don't think is today. PMI stands for producer. Uh, there's or PMI. Let me see. So this is the S&P Global Composite PMI. Let me see. So this is just business activity index. So a reading above 50 indicates the expansion in business activity, while below 50 to the contraction. It was revised slightly higher to 49.5 in September from a prelim of 49.3. It's the weighted average of manufacturing and service sector PMI for a given geography. It stands for the Purchasing Managers Index. So you can see the Tesla start to move down a little bit. It's at 208. This isn't one I usually follow. I don't generally follow this one. But it's an index of prevailing direction of economic trends in manufacturing and services. So it's kind of a manufacturing index. From what I gauge here on the global one, so when you hear the Fed say, okay, so here's a good example. When you hear the Feds say good or bad things, so a reading over 50 means that businesses and manufacturing is expanding. Below 50 means that it's contracting, basically. All right. So I think in a time of high inflationary problems, we could speculate that like less is more here and that we kind of want to see it lower than 50. Again, the expectational number for this is 49.3. 49.3. And again, we'll cover this here, of course, like we always do. But again, expectations are for 49.3. We also have services PMI for October coming out. But yeah, we got manufacturing PMI dropping today. So again, we'll see if we get something good. But who knows? Appreciate all the get well soons. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Well, yeah. Listen, I ran track and cross country in middle school, but I've continued to run long distances at the gym. Like usually when I go to the gym, I run like 2 or 3 miles, like each time I go, which is at least a couple times a week normally. So my point in that is that I I have been an endurance runner off and on my whole life, to a certain extent. Um, so I mean, my point is I should be healthy. I would think I was healthy, but who knows, man. I have Tesla swing trade going big drop over the weekend, but it's a long term. Yeah, I think for Tesla, I might have a bullish argument for it, and here's the reason why. Right, with Tesla specifically, I think that the Cybertruck is going to be debuting sometime soon. And I think that that's going to break sales records. I think that it looks so different. It's such a unique car that people are going to want it as a status symbol. People want to be seen driving around, right? People want to be seen driving around. And so one of the ways that they can be seen is driving a Cybertruck. I think driving a Cybertruck is one of the ways they can be seen, you know. And so I think in that regard, it's going to break sales records, in my opinion. All right, guys. So again, we got the SPY consolidating. All right, guys. So again, dollar index is kind of consolidating around the highs, pulling back a little bit here. Kind of patiently waiting here. Um, there we go. All right, guys, still waiting here. Big drop in the SPY here. So the SPY just broke lows again. Not lows, but like previous recent lows. So like lows of the last like 5 to 10 minutes. We're down to 376.60s here. We got about 23 minutes until the market opens. About 23 minutes. But yeah, I think the Cybertruck's going to break records because I think it's so different looking. I think people want to be noticed as a status symbol, and I think that's why people are going to buy that thing up fast. All right, what's up, YK? Yeah, for sure, Pawn. I'm thinking about it, man. Hey, what's up, Arthur? What's the full story of the PMI 945 and what effects could it be? So this is manufacturing growth, right? So how manufacturing expansion or contraction is what this essentially is gauging here, right? So in a time of high inflationary problems, this data is going to show us if manufacturing across the country is getting bigger or contracting some. Now, again, we could speculate that because of a time of high inflationary problems, that a higher number here could be worse for markets, and vice versa. A lower number here could be better for markets. A contracting manufacturing sector could be seen as negative. Now, again, I'm not sure. I don't know how the markets are going to react to this. But yeah. Yeah, I kind of like the Cybertruck. I know I might get hated for this, but in terms of looks, I think the Cybertruck looks great. I think it's cool, man. I think it's a really dope looking car. I think it's different for sure. But I like it. What's the Cybertruck starting at? They say it's going to start from 40,000 for a single motor. Is that really the base? 40K? If it's 40K, this thing's going to break records, bro. 100%. Started about 50K. 3 motors should cost roughly 70K. Honestly, right now, that's cheap. That's very cheap. In the secondary market, though, they're going to get eaten alive in terms of price. Like, people are going to buy them, and because the wait's so long, people are going to start selling them on the secondary market. It's going to turn into what it's going to turn into. You want to know what's going to happen with the Cybertruck? It's going to turn into PlayStation and Xbox, the newest PlayStation and Xbox stuff, as soon as they came out. Right? If you guys remember PlayStation and Xbox when they first came out, because they were so hard to get, people were selling them for 100% markup. Right? That's what's going to happen with the Cybertruck as well, in my opinion, is that some people are going to get them and then they're going to sell them for 100, 120, 130, 140,000. I think that's what's going to happen. I think people are going to pay for them too, because people, I think people are going to want them. And so people are going to buy them regardless. Yeah, I just think it's different, and I like different, Like, it looks like a freaking moon rover, okay? I like it. I think it's cool. It's going to definitely get you noticed, is what it really is. It's going to get you noticed, And so in that regard, you see that thing, people are going to notice you. And I think that's what it's really about, man. I think that's why people buy Teslas now. I think Teslas are just a cool car, number one. But I think people are going to like it. I think I think it looks like a Mars rover, And so I think, I'll put it this way. I think Tesla already has had such a big impact on the way the newest cars look at this point in time. Like, if you look at all these new cars, you look at Kias right now, you look at Ford, you notice something. They have these really sharp edges, just like Teslas. They have these really, the back headlights or the back tail lights look just like Teslas, right? And so again, what you see now is you see a lot of these up and coming automobile brands copying off of Tesla. I don't know how many cars that I've seen that I'm like, is that a Tesla? Oh no, that's a Ford. And so again, Tesla has already made such a big influence on the way our current cars look that I think that when this drops, it's going to do the same thing for trucks. I think you're going to start to see a lot of similar looking trucks from other brands because, again, they're kind of they're jumping on that bandwagon, so to speak. And so I think it'll already be big and influential. The question is just what it will look like moving forward and how much will it impact the looks of other brands. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you got a pre-order for the Cybertruck, it might be one of those things where some people are going to buy it and then immediately sell it for 30-40% higher. Yeah, exactly, Eamon. Exactly, brother. Again, it's an experiment. Also, guys, y'all check out Stonk Tech. All right, Stonk Tech goes live in about 3 days. Their debut goes live in about 3 days. Remember, guys, this is completely free. It's talked about by Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, MarketWatch, Nasdaq, Benzinga, and Investing.com. Huge company. Going live in 3 days on October 27th. At the very least, it's going to give you free dark pool option flow access, saving you hundreds of dollars. Zero commission once they go live with actual trading here. So, really cool site. Again, they are a sponsor of my video. You can join the waitlist, and it's completely free. It's kind of like StockTwits, but with tools, and their job is to help retail traders over big banks and hedge funds. And so if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. Again, joining the waitlist is free, and they do drop and go live October 27th. So check it out. There's the link. They are a sponsor of my video, of course, so I'm certainly biased, but cool company. And again, completely free site. I'd still rather a canoe truck than a Tesla. Well, are you an investor? Here's the real question with that comment, Tyler. Do you hold canoe shares? Because if you do, again, confirmation bias is very high among EV brand shareholders. Right, like EV brand shareholders, they're holding shares, and so of course, and no offense, I got you, Tyler. You're cool here. You're a supportive guy for sure. But here's a question: at what point does that confirmation bias impact, share price? Because again, what happens here is that people are holding shares of these companies like Neo and Canoe and Polestar and Rivian and Lucid and Mullen. So people are holding shares. And so with confirmation bias, what people really want to be true, people really want something to be true. And so in that regard, I think sometimes people overestimate the success of some of these EV brands, and let me know what you guys think. But I think that's kind of something that certainly happens to a certain extent. What do you guys think? Y'all think that's accurate? Bull or bear? I'm not sure. I hope we in green. I really have no idea, though. All right, guys, let's get ready. Again, we got about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let's get ready. All right, getting a dip here in the SPY here. So the SPY E-mini's dipping down some now, guys. John, are you still holding on to Snap? It was down 30% on Friday. Yeah, I'm still holding it. I mean, understand, I bought the dip after the earnings report, and so my average is like 840s or so. And we're at 760s. So I mean, we're down some, but again, it's a small trade. I'm down less than like $200 right now in it. And so again, it's a small trade. If it starts to break down too heavily, we'll cut it. But again, I'm holding this one for a potential rebound. I'm just going to kind of sit on it. Again, it's a dip buy after a pretty big earnings drop. And so I think in that regard, it's one of those things where I'm just kind of sitting on it, letting it have time to rebound. And if it doesn't, I'll cut it. We break under like 740s. We break under if we break under like 725s, that's when I might start considering to cut it. But if we do, it's only a couple $100. We'll be all right. But see, you are holding shares though, Tyler. See, that's my point, is that I think confirmation bias is very strong in these EV brands. Not just in EV brands. I think in penny stocks altogether, confirmation bias is just wild. Just because I think people get invested in these penny stocks, and maybe they watch some YouTuber, and the YouTuber's like, oh, this thing's going to go up 1,000x. And so people overestimate the health of these companies. And so they end up buying and just kind of sitting on it, and it gives them unrealistic expectations for it. I see it happen a lot, or something that could happen is like people try to day trade some of these penny stocks. And so they buy it, and then it just drops really, really fast for whatever reason. And then they just end up bag holding and just sitting on that position for who knows how long. And if you look at some of the biggest penny stock like communities, a lot of the communities of stocks are stocks that had exactly that happen. Like some of the biggest stock communities are penny stocks that have gone down like 70% over the last year. Why are the communities so big? Is because you got so many traders that are so desperate for it to come back that
they create these communities around it. It's like if you're holding something and it goes down 70% on you, oh, this is the best company ever. Somebody asks you if you like the company or not. Oh, this is the greatest company ever. Oh, it's going to come back. It's going to go up 1,000x. Again, confirmation bias just rampant. They desperately want to believe what they want to happen. But unfortunately, I've seen that most of these penny stocks, they very rarely succeed. They very rarely succeed. The closest I'll get to a penny stock trade is like my Snapchat trade, where I'll take a very small risk, couple hundred shares, and if I lose $300-400, it's not the end of the world. We make so much more from that, from our swing trades as well. Disney, we're still sitting in Disney, and our Disney trade, still making a lot of money from it. It made a ton of money Friday. This Disney trade overall, we had to make at least like close to 1,000. I'm not sure. I'll have to calculate exactly how much we made on it. But again, calculated risks, small calculated risks. Tesla will be number one in EV. Yeah, 100%. I'm invested in Canoe because I do truly believe that they're in the market that Tesla is not covering. 100%, Tyler. Listen, all you, brother. Good luck, man. I seriously hope you make money, and that might be a good trade idea, man. Again, I think EVs are high risk, high reward, bro. So I mean, listen, you might, like I said, you might prove me wrong, brother. You might, man. I think it's possible. I certainly think it's possible. And again, I think it's big risk, big reward. And as long as you're okay with that, good luck, bro. I hope you make money. So we already had the U.S. National Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Came in at 0.1 versus 0.1, so on par with last time. Today we have the manufacturing PMI data dropping at 9:45. At 9:45, so at about 25 minutes, we got that dropping as well. About 15 minutes after the opening bell. Remember, guys, this will influence the market to a certain extent after the opening bell. And so a lot of the times people are waiting for that first 15 minutes to pass before they take any sizable trades. Because I've had some losing days the last couple weeks, I'm going to wait. I'm going to really wait at least 5 to 10 minutes after the open to really trade. But remember, guys, again, this data does drop at 9:45, which is 15 minutes after the opening bell. And with that, you might get some big drops, some big volatility 15 minutes after the bell at 9:45. So just remember, if you're day trading, you might want to get flat around then. Again, not investment advice. Not liable if you lose. We're not liable at all if you lose. We're not investment professionals. We're not liable for any losses you take. Always got to make your own assessment, trade responsibly, and good luck. But just remember, stay safe, guys. We got about 10 minutes. Yeah, from day trader to investor in one red candle, 100%, bro. All right, I actually can't drink any more coffee. I completely forgot about that. All right. All right, guys. So again, we're getting a little bit of a rejection in the SPY, kind of just sideways now, though. Getting a drop to roughly 3,800 right now on the micro E mini here. Who's Nick? Number one. So I've had a mic. Somebody called me Mike earlier. Somebody called me Nick. Unless there's another Nick in chat, maybe I'm just missing it. What do y'all think my name is here? Beet juice? Yeah. Like Doug. Y'all remember Doug? He liked beet juice, if I remember correctly. I've never had beets like that. It's always vinegar, and vinegar is hard on my stomach. All right, guys. Sideways market. Again, good luck today. Let's try to make some money today. Hopefully we can. Again, a little bit of slower day today. We don't really have any big stuff coming out today, but we do have big stuff for the rest of this week. You know, like today it's slow, but the rest of this week we're gonna have some crazy stuff happening. Yeah. Well, I haven't traded it all yet, JW. Right now, I've only gotten to one trade right now. So I've only gotten to a couple trades today on TOS. So, I mean, we're not really in anything major right now. We're waiting for the opening bell to trade. So, again, y'all stick around, hit that subscribe button. We are going to be day trading on Top Step. Sideways action. Hopefully we get some good volatility. Yes, Steve. Hey, what's up, Arthur? At least you know my name, bro. I've had Mike. I've had Nick. I've had a bunch of stuff. All right, guys. Market's pretty sideways heading into the open. We're going to prepare to trade. Again, remember, 15 minutes after the open, we do have... remember, 15 minutes after the open, we do have the manufacturing PMI data drop. So y'all be ready. All right, guys. So again, SPY is mostly neutral right now. Not getting anything crazy yet on the SPY. Dollar index is kind of moving up a little bit. SPY is right around VWAP here. Technically green on the day. We're right at 376. Market dipping a little bit here. Again, SPY is right at VWAP. We're going to wait at least 5 to 10 minutes to trade. And then with the manufacturing PMI data dropping at 9:45, remember, if you're taking any positions after the open, they could get risky, guys. So y'all just be safe and be careful. Again, any position after the open, we got 15 minutes before the manufacturing PMI drops after the open. And again, that might influence markets big. So you don't want to get stuck having that sway your positions if you're in anything. So y'all just be careful, guys. Oh, Nick Papagiorgio from Huma. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, y'all never seen Vegas Vacation? My username was Nick Papagiorgio from Huma, in quotes, on Discord. So apparently some people think my actual name is Nick. My name's John. My name is John London, you know, like the city, you know. That's my actual name. My name is not, in fact, Nick Papagiorgio. All right, guys. So again, SPY dipping down, broke under VWAP here. Let's see if it actually holds now. Mike. No, man. My name's John. It's all good. Hey, as long as y'all are here, y'all can call me whatever you want. Again, y'all hit that sub button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate you all. We're going to keep this growth up. Again, we should break 90K this week, I would think, with all the big earnings. Hopefully we do. Tomorrow's when the big earnings start to pop. SPY dipping down a little bit here. Again, we got about 2.5 minutes. Let's see if we can put the 200 moving average up. I would like to see where the 200 MA is. I do gauge the 200 moving average pretty heavily. I also mostly look at the SPY chart though. We did just dump under there. And so if you hear me call out levels and prices, most of the time you'll hear me talk about the SPY price, right? The SPY chart. That's what I usually look at on the futures market instead of trading the actual, instead of looking at the price action for this, I usually look at the price action on the SPY. Again, less than 2 minutes, team, less than 2 minutes. Again, green or red market today, guys. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. Dollar index is pulling back a little bit. We got a little small bump in the SPY, but we still got time. Greenish. I hope it's red. I lost 2K last Friday. Sorry to hear that, Ziv. All right, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have about a minute left, about 1 minute. Little pop in the SPY. Again, we're going to let the market calm down first before we start to really trade. And SPY up to 376. Market pop back over VWAP short term. That's good. Good to see. All right, guys. SPY starting to move up again very quickly. The market should open up. Hey, good luck, team. All right, guys. We're going to be day trading the futures market on Top Steps funded account program. Here's the opening bell, guys. Good luck, team. All right, ding, ding, ding. There's the opening bell. SPY popped up to 376 short term. You can see some upward movement short term right now. So we did get some upward bullish action here. Again, we're going to let the market play out a little bit first. All right, getting some pretty big drops at the opening bell, guys. Wow, look at this drop. So again, maybe it'll set us up for some... maybe it'll set us up for something. We'll see. Again, we're letting things play out first. I got a little bit of a flush down here. Watching the market reject. Again, letting things play out first. Not taking any trades yet. Again, I do think we might have some upward extension. We've been moving up dramatically over the last couple minutes here, so... All right, so we are getting a rejection down here, some downward activity. Chart Prime alerted that that downward trend, and it was actually right. Give it some time, see if we get a little pivot trade. We'll take one contract here. Just going to take some feeler trades, some small trades. A little bit early for me to trade, actually, so we're not going to hold this forever. We'll just see if we pivot down like we want. And some rejection, some flush breakdowns here. A lot of downward activity. Remember the manufacturing PMI data drops today too, so y'all be ready for that. I don't want to let it influence my positions too much. A lot of down wicks here is the problem. That's the only reason like I'm a little bit hesitant of this trade. I mean, we're about break even, but we do have a lot of down wicks here that I'm not really loving. Kind of want to short up here, but I'm just going to let this trade small. And like I said, we're going to be trading a small trade. I think the momentum's on the downside here if there is momentum. But we'll take two contracts there. Try to give it some time, see if we get a flush. Oof, I almost drank a coffee cup. Yeah, we're going to have to cut it. Again, I think I'm just not being patient enough. I think I got to just chill. Let a real trend play out. I mean, this looks okay, but it could pull a red to green move very fast, too, if we don't reject VWAP here. So we reject VWAP, maybe we'll jump into something. Which we kind of are. On the SPY, we did reject VWAP. We are close to it, though, so there's risk. All right, so there's a rejection at VWAP. We got an upwick as well. Let's take two contracts here. And looks like we're going to have to get stopped out pretty quickly there, too. All right, yeah, we're going to wait. We might have a red to green move. I think I'm just not being patient enough the last few days. I'm kind of in a little red streak. But it's all right, you know. We'll try to be patient and let things play out. Pretty small on the day so far. We get a little dip now. We'll definitely buy this dip. We got to wait for it, though. Big green action in the markets. Wow, huge green candle. Too extended up here for me to take it. Yeah, H-Vlogs, we're just going to ban you, man. You've just been pretty negative the last, like, 4 or 5 comments. You were criticizing Top Step. You're kind of critical of a lot of different things, brother. So, sorry, man. We're just going to go ahead and ban you, dude. All right, we're going to buy this dip. See if we get a little rebound on a 1-minute basis. And we'll get into my rhythm. I might lose a little bit the first couple trades, and that's all right, you know. Yeah. All right, so we're looking good. I like this candlestick pattern. There we go. See if we get a pop up. Looks good. Right around this high of the day level. There we go. Nice little rebound. I like the trade. I don't like it enough to add to it, but luckily we've got a little cushion if it goes against us. There we go. All right, so we just caught about $30 back. So we got the nice little green trade. Remember, guys, the data comes out in about 8 minutes here. About 8 minutes. Nice little 1 minute pullback trade. Again, I'm not going to trade super heavily until maybe after the meeting. But we're too extended up here for me to buy this dip too. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to harp on it too long. But again, if everything you say is starting to turn negative, which again, it might seem like I just kind of banned them out of nowhere. I don't. I watch everybody, and if somebody just kind of keeps saying negative things consistently, eventually you're just gonna get banned. It's just not worth the time to kind of have to deal with it consistently. But yeah, we are getting some upward movement. Let's see if we can pull back some here and get a nice little dip buy. This is a little bit too extended for me up here. It's just too high up there. Is crude moving up? Let me see. We got ExxonMobil. Yeah, ExxonMobil's flying up. The market itself is just ripping up. Let me see if we can have any data that influence this. Hey, nice, guys. Yeah, so we're close to break even today. Nothing too crazy. So Penny Mordaunt confirms she has pulled out of the UK Conservative Party leadership election process. So a new person is there. Maybe that's influencing markets. I don't know. I'm not really in touch with political stuff. We are ripping up big though. So we'll see if we get a little dip now. Again, we got a little dip. It's not quite a big enough dip for me to really want to get involved with it. Again, I'm trying to be a little bit more patient with my setups. All right, this is a hammer candle. This is a bullish candle here, right here. You see the little hammer candle? And so again, it's not triggering on chart prime yet, but this is a bullish candlestick right here. But I'm going to wait. Again, I'm trying to be patient and buy like reasonable pullbacks is what I want. I'm going to wait for a large pullback to really start to swing. That's a big one, but it's not quite big enough yet. There we go. All right, we'll buy that pullback now, and then we'll see how large the pullback ends up turning into. All right, so there's 2 contracts. Market's chop. We do have that data coming out in 5 minutes, but I'm probably going to cut this here. Yeah, another decent loss. Again, we're trying to scale up our size, and I still like that pullback, but at this point in time, I got to just kind of take my hands off and wait for something better. Been a hard market for me, man. The last like 3 or 4 days has not been fun. I mean, we're still very green in my account, but at this point in time, we got 5 minutes until the data leaks or data drops. And so I'm just going to wait for that data to come out first and then maybe find an edge from the pattern we get from that. Market's flushing all the way back down. It might be a bearish pattern now. Like we might get a short pattern that shows up. Yeah, we need a better trend right now. So again, we got a little small loss on the day. I'm going to wait and try to take some calculated swings. I'm also going to use my chart prime setup to kind of figure out if we can get some good short-term momentum that we can scalp to. Yeah, I think the momentum's on the downside today. I really do. I think we're up so much over the last 2 days that I think the momentum's on the downside. We do have the data coming out, guys. Remember, for the manufacturing PMI, we do have the data coming out in 3 minutes exactly here. So 3 minutes exactly, we got the data coming out. The SPY is right around the 200 moving average and the volume weighted average price. Yeah, for sure. Losing, like I said, man, I'm okay. Losing days and weeks happen to everybody. My profit graph is still very green, and so it's like it's been a tough week or two. Last week we lost very minimal amounts, but it's been a harder week or two. And so with that, I got to size down. That's the first thing is I got to size down. Number 2 is like I got to wait a little bit more. I think my mistake is that I'm just taking a little bit too aggressively at the opening bell, which is fine. But with that, I got to be a little bit more patient for sure. What happened in the Meta contract price is too expensive today. Meta, I'm sure everything else is dropping down. A lot of stuff's falling. No, we definitely short as well. So yeah, we'll definitely short as well. It just depends on what the momentum is. I might take one, or no, I would short this right here, but we got that echo data coming out in about 2 minutes here. I think this is a nice little bear position. I think we're probably going to drop from here. But again, I got to kind of stop myself and wait. Yeah, and see, there's the drop we get. This is a bear pattern. Don't get it wrong. This is a bear pattern. I mean, we dumped all the way below VWAP with the big red candle, and now we're under volume weighted average price. We're under the 200 moving average, and we're testing the lows of the day. So we're certainly trending more towards bearish action. Again, for me personally, though, we're still too neutral for me to attack anything. And we do have that echo data coming out in about a minute from now, so exactly a minute. And so we're going to wait and not push anything too heavily until we get some of that data coming out first. I would short this. This is a nice little sign with this upwick here. Usually these upwicks are indicative of bearish momentum. So you see this upwick and then look at the flush. And so again, I would short that really quickly. But with this data dropping pretty soon, I think we just got to sit back and wait here. So again, the data comes out in less than a minute. Less than a minute. Again, manufacturing PMI expectation is 51. Anything over 51, we might have a bear response. Anything under 51, we might have a bullish response, but I'm not precisely sure exactly what the market's going to do here. We got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. All right, let's see what the data shows up, guys. All right, there's the data. It came in lower than expected. And so as we said, we got a big pop up. We came in at 49.9 for manufacturing PMI, lower than expected for both the S&P Global Composite, Services, and Manufacturing PMI. And you can see the market is having a big positive reaction. Again, manufacturing PMI came in at 49.9. 49.9, lower than expected. S&P Global Composite came in at 47.3, lower than expected. Services PMI came in at 46.6, lower than expected. And so again, all of this came in lower than expected, which is evoking a positive response in markets as we thought we would. Again, that's better for inflationary markets. But again, right now we are showing 49.9 for the manufacturing PMI, 49.9. And again, we'll put this up on screen so you guys can see it. But again, we came in better than expected, lower than expected, which is what we wanted. And again, you can see the market pop from this news. Is why, I mean, if I was short there, that would have been really bad. So again, here is the data right here. You can see the data right here. But again, we got to let things settle down a little bit first. Disney's doing really nice today. This should cause them a positive reaction and everything else too. So again, we got some momentum showing up now, but again, we got to wait. We're not going to take any trades yet. I actually like this trade. I think this looks really nice right here. I think this dip right here, I think we're going to continue up and break highs again. Yeah, there's the break. So again, I basically called that. Didn't actually take it. It's a little bit too risky for me, but I thought the bullish pattern might show up there. All right, just kind of sitting back waiting here, team. Now that the data is out, we might look to buy this dip. Such a choppy market right now. It's so difficult to trade this. Hey, baby. All right, guys. Yeah. So again, we got this little dip. I'm thinking about buying it, but I'm gonna let a trend play out first. No, it was good news. So again, it might seem like it's bad news, but again, within high inflationary markets, lower is better, higher is worse right now, which is exactly what I told you guys before this. So before this, I told you guys with high inflationary markets, right before it came out, I told you guys if we come in lower than expected, and again we did, the market's going to rip up probably. If we come in higher than expected, the market's going to come down, which is precisely what we got. We came in lower than expected on everything, manufacturing, services, and composite. And so with that, we got to move up, which is to be expected. Chart prime identifying a bearish engulfing candle. And look at the drop afterwards. So chart prime, pretty interesting. Man, chart prime is right, man. That bearish engulfing candle was actually accurate. Look at that. Huh. Yeah, so complete chop market again. This is like the third day in a row we've had chop. But again, I'm being a little bit more patient today. We're not forcing anything. We're just going to chill. I know, Pampu. Yeah, I understand that, Pampu. You're not understanding what I mean, brother. You're not understanding what I mean. Okay. Yes, the global composite or the PMI lower than expected is conventionally seen as a bad thing, right? But right now, the entire reason the Fed is raising rates is to discourage spending and to cause a lesser market. Like that's the whole reason the Fed raises rates. That's the whole point they raise rates. Now, why do you think we got such a big bear or a big bull reaction to it? Is because again, that is why they're doing it. Right now, it's kind of backwards. It's been this way for a while. Like it's been one of the things where we want to see more unemployment right now. Where if we had better than expected employment numbers, if we had less people out of work, the market tanked when those numbers dropped. Right. And so in times like this of high inflationary problems, again, less is more. And because we're in a contractionary market in terms of manufacturing and services, that's seen as positive right now because inflation is really high. All right. And so again, I know what I'm talking about here, and that is why we got a positive reaction. If you rewind it and you look at right before this data comes out, I said, hey, if we come in lower than expected, the market's going to go up, right? And as soon as the data came out lower than expected, the market ripped up. Why do you think that is? Is because we're in a time of high inflationary problems. And with those inflationary problems, we want to see these sectors drop. We do not want to see them go up because again, the higher these sectors get, the more free spending people have, the worse inflation ultimately is. And inflation is rampant and out of control right now. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure. Well, it's bad is subjective, right? Exactly what Steve like I said, people who have actually been paying attention to the market know that. I mean, you can, like I said, if I'm wrong, why'd the market go up? It's not really something to argue about. Like I said, I cover all these big things. Like I kind of see the nuance behind it. Like conventionally, you'd be right, but the last year or so, or 6 months really, of inflationary problems. Uh, Again, the stronger the U.S. dollar, the worse the market is. The dollar is way too extended. Inflation is out of control. But yeah, market's so choppy right now. I'm not going to trade this. It's just too sideways. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm telling you guys how the market reacts right now. And again, I said this before the data came out, and then as soon as the data came in lower, we had this huge bounce, right? And so again, I know what I'm talking about. Like again, we're just kind of in this weird market where inflation fears are so high. The Fed's doing everything they can to discourage growth and discourage spending and to discourage these type of things. And so with that, less is more and more is less in that regard. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunately the market we're in right now. All right, guys. Mike, it's bouncing back up. Hey, man. How you doing, dude? Love you, buddy. Have a good day at school, man. Yeah, and it's all good. It's all love here. It really is, Pampu. It's all love, dude. I hope you understand. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock you. You just kind of came out of there, bro. The market did this. You don't even know that. And so I kind of got to correct you a little bit. But it's all love here, man. It's all good. Market's bouncing back again at VWAP. Again, not really much trend to, attack here. So we're just kind of sitting back waiting. Tyler. All right, let's see if we pull back. Hey, all good, Abe. Again, look, we're starting to run up. We don't really have much of a trend, though. We're kind of sideways in markets right now, so not really much edge today. We're just kind of sitting back. Hey, thank you, Jose. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, he's a good kid. All right, guys. SPY starting to run up. Let's see if we get a dip to buy here. I'm going to take very small size if I do trade. All right, we got a nice little bounce here. Gonna kind of choppy. See if we get a rebound. I like the upward trend, but it depends on how choppy we're really going to get right now in these markets. There we go. Starting to pump up a little bit. We'll give it some time if we can. Nice. We just made a little bit there, kind of scalping a little small move. Again, we don't really have much trend to attack. We get a little dip here. We'll buy it again, maybe. It's because we're so close to the highs that, like, maybe we'll get some type of favorable response. Nice. So just scalped a little bit more there. Hey, thank you, Alfredo. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support, man. All right, so we're back up here. We're going to add a little bit more to this, take 2 contracts, see if we rebound fast here like we want. Took half off there. All right, just made about $20 more here, slowly chipping away at the loss. We finally start to see some bullish trends is the reason we're kind of starting to scale up a little bit here in markets. I also like this big down wick. I think it can be indicative of strength coming through the top. So we're going to take 2 contracts here. See if we get a pop back up is what we want, but give it time to. About break even here. I don't really like that drop. We break lows again here. Yeah, market is just not favorable at all today. Yeah, this is gonna kind of signal me to we're down like less than $100 or no, we're down like $120, so pretty small. But the market is just pure chop. We thought we might get some momentum coming through, but luckily, if we keep our losing days small like this, we'll be okay. I do a little bit of both, Ziv. Right now, I'm long, or I was long. Now, at this point in time, very low volatility on the day. Where I mean, we're getting big range moves up and down, but not really too much to really look good. Is Snap running up? Hey, Snap is running up. Hey, that's nice to see. Again, we bought that dip. We'll see if it continues. My Disney trade's actually doing really well too. Again, our entry on Disney's 9160s. We were kind of a broken record about Disney, and it's doing lovely. So we'll see if it continues. I don't know if I mean, again, I still got some shares left. But I guess I'll sit on it. It's one of those trades where I don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know if I should. What do you guys think? Should I cut my Disney trade already? I'm highly in profit on it. Highly in profit on it. So should I cut it or? I don't know, Arthur. The only problem with that is that we're so green in the last 2 days that I think if there is some extension, it could be on the downside. The problem with today's market is that we're just getting big drops, right? And so I think the only real way to trade this is to wait for those big drops and then buy those little dips, right? Because right now the swings up and down are dramatic, and so because of that, there's just not much of an edge for me personally. Yeah, so essentially at this point in time, I've rode Disney from 9160s, and I'll show you guys the P&L. I've rode Disney from 9160s all the way to where we currently are. Here's the position, to where we currently are at 102s. You know what I mean? So there is an argument for maybe it's time to cut Disney eventually, but we'll see. Again, market's very chop. I got to go get that heart scan today as well, so I don't know what time I got to leave. It shouldn't be too early. Like, we'll stick around for some time, but I got to go get that calcium heart scan today. So y'all wish me luck, Again, they found that bundle branch block last week, and, the whole reason I'd gone in was because my chest was hurting and I was having chest pain. So, so yeah, y'all wish me luck. I'm a little nervous about it. I think I'm probably okay, though. But I appreciate all the kind words. We got a lot of really supportive people here, so we appreciate you guys. If I've been a little quick to ban, y'all will be okay. Like I said, I got heart stuff I'm nervous about, But I appreciate it. Hopefully they give me my stuff back fast, though. Like, all right, again, super choppy market. Hey, thank you, Alex. Hey, thank you, Tony. Yeah, appreciate it, Pampu. Thank you, man. Yeah, I should be okay. I think I'm all right. Like I said, with bundle branch block. Oh man, look at Snapchat fly up. Hey, you love to see it. With bundle branch block, sometimes people are just naturally born with it, and so, or sometimes people have it naturally, and so it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. But like waking up gasping for air, with chest pains mixed with the bundle branch block in my right side of my heart is not really a great sign. I'll put it that way. So that's kind of what I'm nervous about. But hopefully everything comes out clear. Snapchat, rip it up, guys. That's 775 right now. 775. So I did the test, but it was late Friday, and so I don't have the results from the echocardiogram yet. Not yet. Yeah, it looks like market's about to go bearish. And if it does, we'll short it. I mean, yeah, it looks like market's going bearish right now. I don't have sleep apnea. I've done sleep apnea tests. No sleep apnea. That's what I originally thought it was. I had tests done for it, but it's not sleep apnea. I thought it was at first. I'm kind of glad it wasn't. I'm kind of glad it was not sleep apnea, because I would hate to be on a CPAP machine. I had a friend that had it, and I tried the CPAP machine, and man, this thing is just not fun. All right, guys, market's starting to look weak here. I'll short one little contract here, just betting that this is going to continue on the downside. It looks like that's what we got. Again, there is a chance that we just pop right back up, though, but I'll let this one go a little bit longer. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad it wasn't sleep apnea, but I'm also kind of like, I would have rathered it be sleep apnea. The other signs that is heart failure, essentially, you know? And so I'd rather it be sleep apnea than heart failure, but hopefully it's not either. Yeah, thank you, Christo. I appreciate it, man. Hey, I love you. Love you guys too, man. You know, appreciate the support. I'll be all right, I think. Like I said, I truly think it's nothing. I think I truly don't think it's anything like serious. It could be though, but no, sleep apnea is not super serious. If your sleep apnea goes undiagnosed, it's bad, right? So if you have sleep apnea and you don't get on a CPAP machine, and you just kind of essentially let yourself stop while you're sleeping, that can be very bad, you know. But if you treat your sleep apnea, it's not bad at all. It's basically everything's normal. I got a quick flush here, big up wick. I do kind of like this. I don't know if I want to add to this or not, but I do like this. It looks weak. Like, these up wicks are usually pretty solid in terms of trend identification. There we go. Breakdown. All right, just took half off. All right, so we just made about 30 bucks there, give or take. So catching that downward trend that we finally got showing up. It took long enough for this downward trend to start showing up. Yeah, that's the only thing. I think my sleep's okay, though. It depends on how I'm sleeping, but generally my sleep's not bad, you know. All right, we're going to start to add a little short position here. All right, so just made a little bit more, kind of chopping away at the down day. Less than $100 down, so it's a pretty small day. We finally got a bearish trend to attack, though. No, it's not stress. Trading's not really super stressful for me. I mean, I've been doing this for so long. Like, but it's not sleep apnea. I've had a study done where I've had a sleep study done before, so it's not sleep apnea. All right, getting a little bounce back. Again, not quite enough for me to really want to take this yet. Again, guys, if y'all want to trade on if you want to trade on Top Step, this is a funded account program for futures, right? And so this is where you day trade short. This is my graph this month. You know, like I said, we could be doing a little bit better, but we're not doing bad either. Like, this is my monthly graph. So we've kind of had a losing streak the last few days. But this is my graph for Top Step. So we are day trading and shorting in the futures market. And there's no PDT in futures. The really cool thing about the futures market is that there's no PDT restrictions. And so I'm essentially trading the S&P 500. If you look at the SPY, this does the same exact thing. And so I can day trade and short the futures market with no PDT restrictions, instant settlement, shorting ability, all that good stuff. And if you look at most stocks, right, you look at the SPY right now, you look at the chart I'm on currently, and you look at like Apple or Disney, they're going to look very, very similar, right? And so the futures market is how you get around the PDT rule without PDT restrictions. And now you can either put up the 10K yourself in the futures market and risk that, and futures can go against you very, very quickly. Or you could try out one of these funded account programs like I'm on now. This one's called Top Step. They are a funded account program for futures. They're the gold standard. They're who everybody else copies off of. And again, they're regulated by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange as well. They pay out millions of traders a year, or they pay out millions of dollars to their funded traders per year. There's a 90% split And so, basically they give you a demo. If you can hit their target while following their rules, they'll fund you. The base one's only 130 something a month if you use my link, right? And it's a lot cheaper, even if you've never traded futures. It's a lot cheaper to try that out, have some pressure on you to succeed, but not the full extent of like a real live account where you could potentially lose thousands of dollars. And so, of course, they are a sponsor of my video. I'm certainly biased in their favor because they sponsor me. But I really think it's a good way to get around the PDT rule. And I think that it's cheaper than putting up the money yourself. If you put up 10K yourself and you're not good, you're going to lose thousands. Probably. You might not. But taking a $130 a month challenge is a lot cheaper. It's going to give you some pressure on you to succeed, but not the full extent of a real account. And so because of that, I think it's useful. If you want to check it out, here's the link in chat. They are a sponsor. Great way to help support the channel. Well, it depends on what I'm using. Quant Tower Sugar. So this is Quant Tower right here. So Quant Tower has been a pretty cool platform. It's the one I use mostly. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at going to the doctor too, William. I'm a notorious procrastinator when it comes to going. I get it from my dad. I'm a notorious procrastinator. So it's like I will make any excuse to not go to the doctor. Out of sight, out of mind for me. It's my problem. Might be what got me here, to be honest. I kind of want to short this, but I'm gonna wait. All right, I'm going to short it a little piece. Small little piece. There we go. There we go. All right, we're just going to get out there. Maybe we got a little bit early there, but that's all right. Starting to get a little green streak in here. We've had mostly green now. Yeah, man, I find whatever excuse I can to not go, It's consolidation kind of extended down here for me personally, though, is the problem. Like, we're just a little bit extended down here at this point. So again, we're consolidating down there, but just a little bit extended here at this point in time. If we keep breaking down, great, but for me, I need a little bit larger bounce up before we start to attack anything else. There's one. All right, we're gonna go ahead and short that. Yeah, just one contract, slightly green, break even here. We'll see if we flush back down to test the previous closing price right now. It's trying. Again, we're trading small here. We're not really taking any sizable positions yet. I like the consolidation. I think we moved right down to test the previous closing price. And now we're just kind of sitting back consolidating here. Just depends on how big this bounce back is, really. I'll take two contracts here, see if we flush down. Yeah, we got two contracts. Again, we're trying to be patient here. If we get stopped out here, we might just close it down and come back another day. See if we get a rejection here, which is nice. Again, we're close to break even. Small little $20 trade right now. We're right at 375. I'd love to see us reject at 375, but the only reason I'm staying in it is we do have some rejection and up wicks here, but pretty small day for me, even if we lose here. So we're just trying to be patient and wait, but should we get that downward trend to continue? There we go. That's better. There's a new candle opening up. 10 seconds. All right. So we got 10 seconds before a new candle opens up. Again, we're trying to be patient with it. Not really what I would consider like a high edge day. Been choppy. Yeah, we're gonna cut it. So we're gonna make that it. So we're down less than $200. Very small, $100 and something day. I got that heart test I got to do today, and so we're gonna go just kind of keep trading out of sight, out of mind. Small little baby losses don't really hurt anything. And again, today's a very low edge type of day. Maybe we continue in this downward trend. But like I said, guys, you want to check out Top Step? Link is in the description. You can also find it in the P&L. So moving forward, good data comes out, meaning the market will go different ways. It depends on what it is. So like really what you got to look at is you got to look at how it impacts inflation is really what you want to look at. So it really depends on how you want to look at inflation. But yeah, so it's really gonna depend on how much it impacts inflation, right? So with these inflationary problems we got going on, that's what you want to look at, right? Is when you look at the data, is growth in a specific sector good or bad for inflation? If it's good for the US dollar, it's probably bad for the market. And the market's probably gonna react negatively, right? At least how it's been lately. But yeah, guys, with that said, y'all check out Top Step if you haven't already. Here is the link for that. I'm going to go get this heart test done. If you join our Discord, I'll update you. There's the Top Step link. Check it out. Again, you can check out Stonk as well. Pretty useful trading social media platform. Check out Chart Prime. Really useful at identifying momentum. But yeah, I'm going to go get this done, guys. I'll update you guys. If you're in our Discord, here's the Discord link if you want to check it out. And I'll try to give you guys an update in our Discord. Here's that link. But yeah, wish me luck. Like I said, it's a calcium heart test. And so y'all let me know if got any advice for me for this type of stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck, team. There's our Discord link in chat. Hey, thank you guys.